guilty of crime.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Jay, with Guilty of Crime, and a very happy Friday to everybody that's here. I hope you guys come on in. Do me a favor, hit that like button on your way in. If you head out, hit it on your way out. If you're new here, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notifications. Happy Friday, everybody. It is always a good day, guys. Come on in, do your thing. The goal's up for today, and boy, do we have a lot of information to come out with. And guys, it's not going to be we're gonna just sit there and play a Brian Enton interview and take it in. Yes, that's part of it, but people, Elena Moore's body has now been identified as this missing South Carolina woman. They're going to do the autopsy should be done, and the findings should come out tomorrow on a Saturday. Maybe it won't hit till a Sunday. Coroner finds nothing out of the normal. Mental health issues. Friends say she was scared. Husband says he's devastated. Guys, what is going on in this case? Let me say hello to everybody, and then we'll get this started, all right? Trigger warning, as usual. Like, subscribe, get yourself a membership, and let me put this up so that people can come in and say, what? Wait, say that again? Or you guys can just direct them, all right? And I have it right here. Sometimes I wish I could just copy and paste stuff and it would come right through. Right as I was playing, the body has been found and identified, was right when another news break came in regarding that. So hopefully it comes through to me soon. Let me say hello before we get started. Sadie's mama, always a pleasure. Cuff you. Thank you for that little, a lot of the information that you sent over. Deborah, how you doing? Mimi, Rose, how's it going? Donna, thank you. Watch from the bushes, girl. Elvin, how you doing? Julie Stockmeyer, how's it going? Mama Pearl, my girl Tiff, Tony, Synth is here. Sister Kraken, 777, Lady for Justice, how you doing? Indy Isham, Deb, always good to see ya. Libra Cole, and I know there's a lot of other people I don't try to ignore or miss, but I get deep into this and I can't read the comments all the time. So let's do this, you guys. If you guys have a comment, or obviously I can't catch every comment, every question. If you have a question particularly for me, just put QQQ and write it, and maybe one of the mods can answer it, or if I get a chance, I'll pin it up. Also, guys, we have super chats and super stickers as low as 99 cents. You can drop a 99-cent super chat and I'll get it, and when I stop and take a break, all right? But I don't always just post those that have super chats and super stickers. Everybody gets the opportunity. Saucy, my girl, I planted 5 of those seeds that you sent. Ooh, I can't wait to see what happens, my friend. Welcome and happy Friday. under your scars. Oh, guys, there's a lot today. I can't even believe what's going down right before my eyes in this case. It's wild. We've got half the people saying one thing, half the people saying another, and I've got at least 3 people that knew Elena. And I'm not talking about the people that just the Brian interview you saw. That's part of it. But there's neighbors, there's additional friends, there's another guy that claims there's no way she would have done anything about it, and he wants to debunk the junk. So, again, this is a deep episode today. We're going over X and Reddit and TikTok, all of that I pulled from everywhere. Thank you, Viking Treasure. Big hugs to you. Big hugs, Husky Lover, Colorado. How you doing? Oh, we're going to get to it, guys. He was cleared. We're going to see all the under your scars. I've got all of it and then some. Don 832. I can't understand why it took them so long. Me either. That's a whole. Okay, so we're going to get into all of it today because the last time I did this episode 2 days ago, guys, I did not know that on June 4th to June 5th, there was another call in. I did say hi, Jamie Ferrero. I can't say hi to everybody personally, but hi, Jamie Ferrero. So, guys, there's a lot that's been going down behind the scenes that you might not have caught. You might think, oh, yeah, well, there's that interview and they said this. But let me tell you, there's so much more that I'm going to dig out today. You're going to want to like this and share it with your community because it's not all out there. You got to dig for it. All right. You got to Brian Smetten. I love Brian Smetten, and we're going to use some of his stuff today. But this is not even the tip of the iceberg, guys. What's up, Nikki? Good to see you. Jamie, it's always a pleasure. Guys, I don't try to I never try to ignore anyone. I worked with Brandon but kept mispronouncing. I know, right? Hermit, I'm so glad you're here. There's so many discrepancies and so many he said, she said. We just have to dig into it. So, hello to everybody. Hope Ain't Fear. Good to see you. Deborah Brush, Mama Sage, Lady for Justice, Nikki B. Happy Friday. If you guys want to help get to the goal, that'd be awesome. If you guys want to do a call-in show because you have a lot to say, we can certainly do that later on. But today, I'm just going to just straight up, what happened to Elena Moore and why is the husband being cleared so early, especially with the mental health findings. Coroner says nothing unusual. Husband cleared so quick. Friends say way different things. How is that happening? Yeah, we're going to get to all of it. I'm not going to answer anybody else right now. We're going to hop into it, all right? What happened to Elena Moore? Check this out. We're going to, at the very top of the hour, we're going to debunk anybody coming in here and saying, she hasn't been identified yet. You guys know how those come in, right? Hashtag Steve, go away. We don't need you. We're going to start the top of the hour by showing you her body has been identified. It is Elena Moore's. And tomorrow, hopefully, we get an autopsy. Yes, he was a police officer, guys. Yesterday, I didn't have all my facts because, well, I frankly didn't. They just weren't out there at 4 o'clock. He was, in fact, a local freaking deputy, guys, for 14 years. Now, listen. A South Carolina breaking news just came out minutes ago that a South Carolina personal trainer that walked out of Planet Fitness and vanished into the wood. Days later, the body found that was wearing the same clothes is confirmed to be her. Now, there is disturbing behavior, and guys, I found even more disturbing behavior prior to these dates. So when you think the timeline starts at June 11th, you're wrong. Think again. The body has been found in a search by Lexington, South Carolina. It is Elena Moore. But, guys, the coroner says there's nothing obvious about her death. Nothing that can say she was asphyxiated or her skull was cracked, or she had a bullet wound, or she was nothing at first glance. So they're going to do an autopsy, and we're going to find out hopefully Sunday or Monday. She's not a minor. They'll release it. Guys, we also learned that Elena Moore's husband spent 14 years as a local deputy before becoming a PI, a private eye. Police said early in the investigation and again, he is not a person of interest. And the PI that we have on the case is a freaking friend of his. So he's got all cop friends, and the PI that's working is his friend, although he can't pronounce his name. Let's just come right in. I'm going to go straight to her body has been identified, and then we'll talk about everything else.
And we have a heartbreaking breaking news update tonight. The Lexington County Coroner's Office has positively identified the remains of Elena K. Moore. Her body was found Wednesday afternoon in a wooded area off Old Cherokee Road and North Lake Drive. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow morning at MUSC in Charleston. Officials say more information about the cause of death and manner of death could be released on Monday. The investigation continues, and authorities are asking anyone with information to contact SLED. The coroner's office is extending condolences to Moore's family. And
did any of you find this crazy that this video that we found a week prior, some of the time she's wearing shades and other times she's not, which means either they've got multiple camera images from the same day or different days of her doing that. Did anybody at all notice that? Look at this video. She has no shades on, but yesterday with the giant receipt like this one, guys, she pulled out the receipt just straight up and she had her glasses on, right? We'll look at that again, but this giant receipt with the glasses, all of a sudden she has no glasses in that video. What happened to them? And she was holding her purse / phone. It's not there now. What happened? Love you, Panda Ann. You can't make me smile and laugh like that when we're talking about discovering a body. So I apologize. That was just my bad. That was funny. Thank you. Love you too. Back at you, my friend. Thank you so much. Hope 8 Fear for the Guilty of Crime membership. If you receive that membership, please thank Hope 8 Fear. All right. That's crazy. I don't even know what to say about this case. Well, I guess I do, but it's going to take a while. The coroner's office extended. See, there she is again. Again, no glasses, no phone, no nothing. And this doesn't start on June 11th. We're going to go over that timeline next, but let me go straight to News Nation that gives more detail. Just came out again minutes ago. Breaking news, guys. It is Elena Moore. It is her body that was found, and they are doing an autopsy tomorrow. Indy Isham, thank you. Hey, Jay, thanks for all the info and updates. You're absolutely welcome. Good to see you here. Happy Friday. Yeah, when anybody says that I don't bring the receipts, you get to show them this clip. Jay brings the receipts to every episode. This is a Dollar Tree receipt. It's like a book. All right, I thought that was funny. Thank you. All right, guys, let's identify her at the top of the hour. You guys have the right. If anybody comes in and says, that's not her, we don't know yet, you guys can gently let them know. Her body has been identified as the missing woman, Elena Moore. Search ends, body identified as her. I'm going to just play this clip. How about that?
After leaving a Planet Fitness on Thursday.
That way we'll get it.
Has likely ended in tragedy. Doesn't mean we have all the answers, but I want to explain what we seem to know. So, the Lexington, South Carolina Police Department announced that at 2:48 p.m. this afternoon, the body of a woman wearing clothing that fit the description of Moore was found in the area of North Lake Drive and Old Cherokee Road near where she was last seen. Last night, police released newly discovered security footage of Moore in a Publix grocery store parking lot walking in the direction of Old Cherokee Road around 9:17 p.m. after leaving a Planet Fitness on Thursday, June 11th. So that's the night that she disappeared. And that broadened the search today to the area where the body had been discovered. And this discovery comes alongside new reporting by TMZ that As recently as May 31st, Moore apparently told a friend at brunch that she was, quote, scared for her life. Reasons not entirely clear. But this is also coupled with the idea or the allegation that Moore's behavior was abnormal and that she frequently got up from her seat to look out the window. And then only days later, so 1 week before her disappearance, newly obtained ring cam footage near where Moore disappeared seemingly shows her disoriented as she picks up a DoorDash order at a home that doesn't belong to her.
Now, again, you're going to see she has shades on and she's holding something. And this is not day one. Right after this, I'll go over the timeline. You guys were talking about it yesterday on June freaking 4th, guys. June 4th, a week prior, there was surveillance footage from an apartment complex where she was acting confused and disoriented about the DoorDash order. This is not the same. This is not the same one. She doesn't have glasses in this one. And June 4th, there was somebody called in her being missing a week prior. Make it make sense. I'll try to make it make sense. We're going to get into that right after this.
The resident of the home said that Moore tried to...
You guys just saw that a minute ago, and it wasn't the same apartment, my friends. I didn't even notice that. What's up, Channel 53? I'd be pretty mad if I was waiting on some wings and somebody grabbed it. Well, DoorDash will give you your money back and re-deliver. But look at that. I hadn't noticed that before. Today, I was just... I went to work, but of course, you go to work, you still hear everything coming in. Guys, we just saw the body. We just saw the doorbell footage that was straight across from her being confused, and it was 410. Do you see the number back there? Look at the number. Look at the apartment number. It's 319. She has glasses on and a phone, and now she's holding that bag. Prior to that, she had no glasses, she was holding no phone, and she was in front of apartment 410. Make that make sense. Did anyone else catch that? Did you guys catch that? Anybody? All right, let's continue. I really want to know your thoughts on what the heck's going on here. All right, we're going to hear from friends and all of that after this.
Walk inside as she handed over the food order and that she seemed really confused. Also said he spotted Moore an hour later going through a neighbor's packages, and she commented that she didn't know what she was doing. For now, the coroner has yet to officially identify the newly found remains, and Lexington County authorities have requested a death investigation be conducted by the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. I want to bring back in Henry Dukes, a private investigator who's been working.
So this private investigator, I did not really understand that he was direct friends with Elena Moore's husband. And not only that, he's known him for a long time, but he works with him as a private eye. But the receipt says John Moore, and he opens the door and she goes, "Oh, John Moore," and she hands it over and walks away. But that's not the first time. That's not the first apartment, and that's not the only apartment that she was wandering around to. How is that? That's what I'm saying. But I showed you the proof. I showed you more than the receipt, baby. And the receipt shows she's in front of 410 with nothing, and then in front of 319 in that video. And she does look way different. We know about that. Yep. That's his buddy. It's hard to take what he says. All right, let's continue.
Find Elena. We had him on last night. Thanks for taking the time. What can you tell us about today's search? Because authorities apparently found this body after just an hour of searching.
Thanks for having me again. It turned out to be that it was not the outcome that we were all praying for and asking for, that's for sure. It didn't take, like you said, it was right out of probably about an hour into the search that they ended up locating a body wearing the clothes that matched what Miss Moore was wearing.
Any idea about cause of death or the circumstances about where the body was found?
None whatsoever. That's an aspect that the law enforcement now will pick up along with the coroner's office to do the investigation.
And guys, that's happening tomorrow. I'm not going to play this whole thing. I want to make sure everyone's on the same page. Retha, hello. Retha Bell, good to see you. It's beautiful. It's Lizzie's beautiful blue eyes. Hey, it's Friday. Relax, chill. We'll send you some good vibes. No anxiety, right? No anxiety for you. All right, let me just hear what he says. The same thing. I'm Brian and everywhere. He says essentially the same thing. So this just came out, but I just want to see another minute
and determine the cause of death and any other circumstances surrounding it.
How long would that take? For people who are not familiar with that jurisdiction or how the process works, do you have any idea about when the remains would be identified or cause or manner of death is determined?
Well, I mean, I would have to speak just from past experience. I mean, it just depends on, the completion of toxicology.
All right, now he's got a bunch of junk. He's talking too slow. I can't speed it up, and I already know what he's going to say, so I'm going to leave that up for a second. Her body was found in that proximity, and I'm going to show you on the ground where another person went out there, and they showed the actual spot. And in that spot, guys, there was already allegedly decomposition and bugs and maggots, which is odd because she had been missing. That was day 6 of her missing, and they had searched there prior to. So how did that happen? There's so many questions that I have. But do you see in the search for? Well, we're gonna do all of it, guy. We're gonna get into all of it. But what I can say is it's interesting because that area was looked over. Now, her last known sighting, guys, was June 11th at 9:17 p.m. from the Planet Fitness right there in South Carolina that you see on the screen. She was wearing olive green hoodie and a black athletic pants. Cameras capture her walking towards the area behind Lowe's, and that was it. However, a gentleman that knows her, and I'll show you, we'll talk with him later, says there's so many things in between the wooded area and behind Lowe's, including apartments and other things that could have happened to her. And the fact that they didn't find her initially, she was right in the same area that she was found walking away from. Now, you guys already know Brannon, her husband, called a day later to report her missing. And they told him, they say he called sometime on Friday. He also said the disappearance for her is very out of character, and he claims that he is very distraught over this. So there's a lot. Police do say that her husband is not a person of interest as of June 17th. Now, Elena had been described by her husband as not well since the deleted post on Facebook. Put it up, took it down. Police confirmed that she had been acting erratically in the days leading up. Guys, she wasn't a DoorDasher. She worked for Planet Fitness. She was a personal trainer, as well as I think there's another job, but they say personal trainer. Her phone was tracked, but we don't know still where it is or if she had it. So for those of you that came in here and didn't even know that we got to get this, that didn't know that she wasn't a DoorDasher. Let's get into this. Oh no, that's all good. If you don't know about the case, I just want to make sure everyone's on the same page before we start hopping into everything else, because it wouldn't make sense, right? Thank you, Foxy, for the 420 Guilty of Crime membership in honor of her brother Christopher, gone way too soon. Thank you, Foxy. Good to see you here. 627 in tech. All right, let me just quickly. Okay, so we can knock all of these things and I can move on. Knock all these things. We have such an episode today. Hold on. I feel like that's just the small stuff that we're looking at. All right, so take a look at this. Body discovered matches missing South Carolina personal trainer's description. All right, that's her. I know she looked different. You guys just saw the video with glasses and she had something in her hand. In this image, she has no glasses, nothing in her hand, and the apartment number behind her is 410. The other one is 319. So how long before did she actually, when did they see this? Where did the footage come from? This reminds me of the Guthrie case, where we see different images that law enforcement release, but they don't necessarily coincide, and it might not even be on the same day. right? That was the last time they saw her in Planet Fitness. That was recently released and people made a big deal, rightfully so. Right? Wednesday, today's Friday. On Wednesday, South Carolina police revealed that the body recovered with the matching athletic attire that we see above was the personal trainer who vanished after leaving the gym last week. Now, just as new as the security footage emerged of the missing woman disoriented, that it appeared that she was disoriented outside of a stranger's home. But they don't say multiple strangers' home. They don't say anything about that. I think I have an answer for it in a bit. Now, Elena Katherine Moore, guys, was last seen leaving that Planet Fitness in Lexington. That was on the 11th at adjacent to Lowe's. At 9:17 p.m. It would already be dark outside on a Thursday. All right. Now, mind you, husband didn't call law enforcement until Friday the 12th, and we don't know when. Right. And this looks nothing like her as the month that's leading up to her death. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We haven't even got to the coverage yet, my friend. Stay here. This is just the basic coverage. I got you guys. I got all of you guys. I got everybody in chat, all your thoughts, all the things that you see, watched, heard. I got that covered today for y'all. Don't worry. All right. I'm just letting you know 39-year-old trainer wearing that matching outfit was found. She's now been identified as Elena Moore. Now, her husband, that's a person that we looked at when my very first episode I presented. We looked at her husband saying, is this like JP Miller and JP and Micah Miller? But Moore's husband's Brannon Slice was not eyed as a person of interest as of Tuesday. And as of 2 days ago, they cleared him. What does that mean? Now, a week before that, she walked into the woods. A confused Moore was seen rifling through strangers' food deliveries and mail packages in an apartment complex. And we now know, guys, she was into a mental health facility. She actually had checked into a mental health facility. I have the information and I looked it up, but I still got to dig through all of it to get to it. But many people were asking me about that, and we just don't know. You can't get information via HIPAA, but it has been confirmed that she was at a hospital. Usually it's about 72 hours or so that they hold you. All right. But law enforcement did say Mr. Slice is not a person of interest. Police are not. They double down. Police are not eyeing him as a suspect. They've said that almost every day. They also say police say there's no foul play, as the coroner can't find anything that was even wrong with her. All right. They don't see anything. So is Brannon Slice a deputy? Yes, he was for 14 years working with the private eye. How long was he a deputy? Well, 14 years. And is he a suspect? No, he's not a suspect, and he's never been a suspect. Was he cleared? Yes. Police said he was not he was not at all eyed as a suspect. Now, again, you guys keep thinking that June 11th is when this started, but my friends, we have to go back to June 4th when the mental health incident happened, and Elena was in a mental health facility called Three Rivers. Guys, we're getting the information. I don't know how it's coming out, but it's coming out. Yes, a 14-year cop. He was a deputy of 14 years. All right. So let's pull this down. I really want to get to the stuff that's going to be like, damn, this is wild. All right. So let's take a look at this. Let's start back. That way I can give you my timeline. So you guys know I told you, go sign up for my ex. Go to x.com, guilty of crime, please, and sign up for it when you can. She intercepted a DoorDash driver's delivery at a stranger's and mistakenly attempted to walk inside by wandering off. Yeah, we've looked at all that. We've seen all that, and we've got so much more. All right? So much more. We just got started. So listen here. We're going to run through X real quick. All right? Brian Enton went as far as to, when he interviewed Sandra Campbell, to ask, was she murdered by her husband? And Sandra says the last time she saw Elena was May 31st at brunch. Now, mind you, everyone says that for an entire month, Elena wasn't posting anything, and it seemed odd. Her friend says she saw Elena and she seemed nervous and scared. And one time she walked to a door and looked out of it. Before they parted ways that day, Elena hugged her and told her they needed to catch up because there was a lot going on and she was scared for her life. Elena, all right? They never got a chance to catch up. She also states that Elena's husband was extremely controlling. He made sure Elena was aware that he was all she had. And she has heard him be cruel to Elena on the phone before. Now, Elena and her husband were separating, is what we're told. But the husband gives some story, guys, that says they were going to spend the rest of their lives together till death do them part. Does that mean that he killed her? And since she's dead, death do them part? And when was her hospitalization? I'm giving that to you right now, my friend. Live, welcome, Live and Lear, come on in. Grab a seat, chill out. June 4th through June 10th, she was confirmed to be in a mental health facility called Three Rivers. Multiple outlets, News Nation and TMZ, both confirmed that Elena had gone into a mental health facility prior to her disappearance. As a matter of fact, the week prior to her disappearance, we don't know the exact number of days, but normally you stay in there for 72 hours. Now, the only verifiable detail that we know is that she was released from that mental hospital shortly. And when I say shortly, I mean very shortly, before June 11th, when she was seen in public again and then gone missing. Okay, like I said, this case doesn't start at June 11th, and it doesn't even start at June 4th. It starts before that. All right, so everyone's stuck on this. We're only going to listen to this, and then I'm going to show you interviews that I'm sure you haven't seen. Neighbors have talked, I'm sure you haven't seen, and everything else that you haven't seen. I know a lot of people are coming in the chat and saying, oh, I just saw this and I heard that. Oh, we're getting to all that, my friends. You know how we do it here. So, something else that stuck out, this Brian Enton saying the months prior to Elena's disappearance, Elena stopped posting on social media. Her first thought was that Elena's husband may have forced her to get off of the socials because of how controlling he is. Example, JP Miller with Micah Miller. All right, so this is only the interview. I'm going to watch this to make sure everybody's seen it, and then we're going to move on to a lot of things that you haven't seen or heard, because there's no way you could have. It just came out. I gotta, let me do this. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm going to get to it. I got to share a different screen. Let me drop this down and get here. Hold on. It didn't. It clicked onto a new thing. Luckily, Brian Enton was awesome, and he went and cut this out with the interview only. So now we can play it. And
I want you to hear my conversation with Sandra Campbell. This is a close friend of Elena's. Sandra, I'm so sorry for what happened to your friend. It's just such a terrible situation. If you don't mind, just tell me first about the last time you saw.
Guys, I just want you to know, if you saw this, don't be in despair. I'm only doing it to make sure that we get the full story documented, all right? I love this chat because none of you are rude and happy to chat. Well, thank you, Nikki B. We appreciate that. I mean, I'm always in a happy mood when I come on here. And if not, I'm definitely in a happy mood by the time I get off, right? He didn't look for her, and he didn't even call for a day. But that's besides the point. Once I get to all the evidence, you're going to say, what? All right, Live and Lear says, I'm a BHRN. They also give long-acting injections that can go sideways. And you know what? I'm so glad that you're here. Please stay here so you can answer questions in chat as they come. Listen, this goes parallel not only with the JP Miller thing, But guys, Lauren DeMolo, that happened to her. The same thing that's happening here. If you guys have been following my coverage, Lauren DeMolo went to a mental health facility, and days after she got out and was having episodes, allegedly she left her shoes, she left everything on the bench, and just walked off into the water and disappeared. All right, you remember Paul DeMolo, Lauren DeMolo? Same circumstances. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Yes, manners are free. The boss bitch says medication can act different. This is where we're going right here. My daughter was given Prozac. Wow, I don't want to use that word, but thank you. Yes, they can. All right, let's get into it. Grab your popcorn, Pac-Man. I've got, right after this, guys, I'm going to show you where the body was found. You'll be able to see where her body was, you know, where it makes an impression. And then especially when decomp starts and bugs come and maggots and all those things, you can really see the area. So I've got video footage of the area, and then I have video footage of another couple talking about her whereabouts and what in the hell happened. Now, this is an almost 2-minute interview, and it's with neighbors, and they're going to tell us about the apartment complex and how far away Planet Fitness was, etc., etc. If you've seen that interview, let me know, because I never saw it. All of this just came out. All right, let's watch this, and then we can discuss everything else.
Elena, and kind of what stands out to you.
We went to brunch May the 31st. A couple girls, couple of her clients were there, friends I had known before. We all met up. Elena's,
hold on, I don't want to
like, loves a new place, loves to, you know, kind of host something and get people together, and, like, you know, people that's entrepreneurs, you know, people like herself. So she invited me out, and
she said entrepreneurs like her. All right, I just want you to remember who Elena was. We don't know much about her, but we're learning more as we continue. Teresa, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I love that you're still here from the Madeline Soto days. Y'all ready for this? And I'm probably not going to talk about it. I'm only saying this because Teresa is here. Oh boy, did I have a surprise! And by the way, Deb, I'm gonna get back to Stefan this weekend. I'm not gonna talk about it unless he allows it. But guys, I got a message from Stefan Stearns out of the blue yesterday, and I was shocked about what he wants to talk about, and I'm ready for it. But my head was ready to explode over work and all the other cases. So Stefan Stearns has some stuff to say, and we're going to talk about the autopsy, guys. The autopsy of Madeline Soto that I've never seen. You guys are never going to see. He's definitely seen and studied. So very, very interesting. We'll see what happens there. Teresa, you guys, I'll let you know. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know how that's going to go down. I'm just letting you know that I still talk to Stefan Stearns, and yes, I would never say that. As a matter of fact, he told me that his mom said to reach out to me because of whatever they were talking about. So, Deborah, you're already friendly. I first found you with the Maddie Soto case. I often think about Maddie, and a lot of people are here. May Maddie rest in peace. All right? May she rest in peace. Let's continue. I just wanted to give you guys, when I saw Teresa from the Madeline Soto days, I said, let me blow their mind a little bit, since mine was, I didn't think he was ever going to reach out to me again, let alone about the autopsy of Madeline Soto. So anyway, let's continue.
When she showed up, you know, she just looked really nervous. She wasn't calm. She was kind of looking around.
And mind you, when we get towards the end of this, or even 2/3 through it, this woman, the other gentleman that's her friend, and the neighbors have a much different story than the private eye does. Yeah. Hey, Colleen, good to see you, my friend. Man, agreed. I agreed. I was wondering. Anyway, yeah, we'd love that. That was a talk. There was a talk about that too, guys. All right, let's get back to this, because this is going to be what I was going to say to you guys, I haven't had anybody on my channel. I haven't had any collaborations. I haven't done an interview like Brian Enton's doing all the time. And it's my job to do the interview, but I've always had a mod or anybody that knows people reaching out to help me get these connections and get an interview. So for this particular case, you guys or anybody that you know that needs a voice or somebody, a friend of hers that wants to talk about it, hook me up with them, give them my email address and tell them they have a voice here and I want to interview them. All right. I normally, again, I just don't have time to reach out to these people and find them and it's hard. All right. Let's continue. So if anybody has any leads or needs an outlet or wants an interview, let's do it here.
She kind of got up once and walked to the door and was like looking out the door. She wasn't fidgety or anything. I have like a video from that day. I just kind of went around the table and she was fine, as far as, well, she was in her right mind and everything like that. We all had brunch, we laughed, we talked. She was across the table from me. I had to go pick my son up. I hugged her bye. She hugged me and she hugged me really tight and was like, we've got to catch up one-on-one. There was still like about 4 or 5 girls there. And she was like, I can't talk right now. But it's, I'm scared for my life. It's a crazy shit right now. She said those words. And I said, what are you talking about? What? And she's like, you don't even know. She's like, it's too much right now in front of these people. We've got to, me and you one-on-one. But I'm afraid for my life type shit. She's like, I'm with Jersey. That was another one of her friends. I guess that made me feel a little bit more comfortable that, I figured that she was hanging out with her a lot, maybe staying with her. I know Jersey lived close to them. And so I, sorry about that. That was it. She didn't, as far as people saying the mental health things, that bothers me, the negative stuff about her that I'm seeing. Nobody knows behind closed doors kind of what went on with her and him, but I've witnessed telephone calls of how he talked to her and treated her.
Now, you guys I need you to take this all in, because when we get into the other interviews that are the people that support Brannon, they say the complete opposite thing. Okay. And again, remember, I posed my very first episode as Elena Moore and Brannon running parallel with the JP Miller case. All right. So as soon as we get through this, I'm going to pop on the dispatch audio from June 5th, where someone called her missing 6 days before she ever went missing. All right. And then we're going to talk to the couple and we're going to see the body, not the body. We're going to see the area where her body was found. All right, let's continue. There's so much more today. And you know what? I'll run that little video that we have of her with her shades, since we have 2 of them now. One with shades, one without, one at apartment 410, one at apartment 319. That makes a big difference, guys. And so does this. This does not match up with what anybody says about Brannon.
How we missed a concert one night because of her not wanting to be around him because of the way he was treating her. Those tickets were expensive. But we had a better night. We went out ourselves to eat dinner and had a great time. The video, the DoorDash, to me, when I look at that, it is very sad. Elena's clients can tell you that's not what.
See, that's the 319 one, and there's the other one without the glasses that have a 410. So what day was it? How do we know?
She looks like in the gym when she's even working out and hot and getting her, fit on. She doesn't look like that. She was panting. She was breathing very heavily. She looked to me like maybe she was disoriented a little bit. I believe this is the day that I was told she went into the hospital, that police took her there, and when it all began with the Three Rivers.
Three Rivers, guys.
So she went into a mental facility?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know how that happened. She went from the hospital straight to the Three Rivers. It obviously was.
Now, guys, I'm going to make an assumption, and I think it's going to come out. Different sound frequencies help for different issues. Pull up YouTube. Pull up on YouTube. Trouble sleeping. What? I don't know what happened, but getting her hot on. All right, let's continue. This is just the oddest thing because she was in a mental hospital prior to. Her friend says she doesn't know how, but how do we know that her husband didn't Baker act her? All right. Yeah, that's what we're watching right now. They just showed a clip of that. But guys, there's so much more. We're only talking about a tiny fraction of it. I'm only showing this for those that didn't see it.
It's herself doing it. Like they couldn't keep her there because she left on her own. I'm not really familiar with that whole story. I don't know why it's not being talked about more. I don't know if she has a mental health diagnosis besides anxiety. That's what she has told me before in the past. And she's had to, we've dealt with that. I've dealt with anxiety too. So we've dealt with that kind of together. She's so uplifting and so positive, and there is no way, I don't know who did this. The Duke's investigator really saddened me on live when he said that no one in the family had any worries of anything happening in the marriage. No friends or family he's spoken to. What friends or family? I don't even know if her family's been contacted. I know they're reached out to. I don't know if they're here yet. His family? Who hired you? His family? Him?
And we find out all the answers because that private eye is buddy with this dude. What's up, Kathy? Good to see you. We're doing very well. It's Friday. How can you not do well? Did anyone read Cymbalta recalled for cancer-causing agents? All right, let's continue. That has nothing to do with this, but y'all can talk and chat.
He didn't talk to me about anything. He didn't ask me if there was problems in the marriage. I said, I called him because it was worrisome. And I was like, you're on live television. He said, ma'am, he got upset with me because I was upset that he didn't talk to me. There was problems with that marriage. They were separating. I know Brannon told you that. So are you trying to say he didn't? Ma'am, this is for Lexington County to, have control over now. She's been deceased. She's been found deceased. I said, but you were saying these things while she was still alive.
Yeah. When you saw her last, was it May 31st? Is that right?
That's correct.
Did she, because in that doorbell video, it's like she looks confused. Like I was wondering, do you think she might have been having some kind of mental break or something? Like, some kind of.
I heard too, it's like I'm saying, everything's flying around because we're not getting like answers it's like crickets from the police and investigators, which I know that takes some time, but she's dead. And I feel like that was concerning to me, very concerning the way she looked, but she looks scared. I know what my friend looks like when she's nervous and we're out and he calls her and he's like made her.
Guys, this is going to be a he said, she said. And the messed up part is he was a deputy for 14 years. And then he went into private eye business with the guy that's been on Brian Eaton's show. Guys, that's not good. If there's a person of interest, even though he's not named, the very first person of interest is always going to be a spouse, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend. We don't know what evidence that is where and what. He's out there looking. What's law enforcement doing? And why are they giving him the benefit of the doubt? Is it because he was a deputy for that long?
There's no one that she talks to male-wise at all. Like their neighbors are Brandon's friends. Mostly the family don't really speak with Elena a lot. Brandon's family. It's really just Brannon and Elena, and he made sure that she always knew that all you have is me.
Happy birthday, Kathy.
What is Elena like before all this? Like she seems like a wonderful person.
She's so positive. She is so uplifting. Like her head is on her shoulders. Like she is. I'm a little older than Elena, and she is someone I look up to. She had kind of hard childhood. She conquered so much on her own. And like I say, her clients would tell you the same. She worked hard. Most of her pictures Brannon took. I think he was proud of her too, her body, her career. But she did get a job at CVS to try to obtain insurance, to have health insurance, because she started having some health issues with her heart. And so that was concerning for me when she was missing. Talking about mental health, but why aren't we talking about her heart condition?
Right.
We know that she has that.
And guys, mind you, she has a heart condition. We didn't know that. We also don't know what toxicology is going to say. Now, Angel of Truth, the coroner couldn't find anything of concern to her body on the outside. There's no strangulation marks, there's no lividity, there's no gunshot wounds. They can't find a thing. So, no, her body has been identified as Elena Moore, but we do not have a cause of death whatsoever. They are working on that tomorrow, and we may get at least some of the autopsy findings by tomorrow or Sunday. All right. By the way, very happy birthday to you, Kathy. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have an awesome day. Hear what? Well, let's continue.
I know that she's been on a heart monitor. Brannon knows that. Like, did she have her medicine for that? Was she put on a medication from the facility? There's a lot of questions that's not answered. And
toxicology.
I just feel like, is my friend's body just sitting there alone still? Like, I don't know why she left CVS. We never got to talk about that. I don't know if it was personal reasons, and those were it, because there was interference. She couldn't really do her job right when she was always stressed out and crying. There was a lot of that when she worked there. She tried to keep it together, inside, but like she would break down on breaks and stuff like that to me.
So their marriage was.
I know that there's been problems for years, kind of, but there has been good times. So that makes me wonder too, what the heck is going on here? Like I say, my friend she's not a druggie or a drunk. Those things hurt me.
And that's why we got to watch this to just document that. Right after this is going to be stuff you have not seen at all. And y'all know towards the end, the thing that just came out, we're going to have to watch too. But I'm telling you, yeah, Deb's always here. Deb's almost here every day, killing time in any. Look at that. Deb Stearns. All right, let's get this out of the way. I want you to really hear this. So that when we move forward, we can talk about, was it a psychosis? Was it her heart? Was it a combination? If the coroner couldn't see anything right out of the gate, then I'm thinking it had to be something that was really going to be picked up by toxicology or very internal. I had no idea she had a heart condition.
She's very classy, very sophisticated. So like, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It must be so hard.
I can't believe someone could hurt her, but she's also strong, and she could probably kick somebody's butt that tried to come after her if it was a stranger. Elena exercised a lot. She didn't go walking at nighttime alone. She's very aware of her surroundings. That's one thing I'll say too. She's observing, and she's not going to take any crap. She's going to tell you the truth, and that's her. That's her. She's a go-getter. She's gonna make you get it too. And if you're ever having a bad day, she's gonna tell you you're worthy. She's that person. She's uplifting, and she's got me through some really tough times when my son was sick and stuff. And just
here's the problem: there's conflicting stories here, Princess. She's living with her husband. I'm sure she was living with her husband. His excuse for not calling 911 the day she went missing was the fact that because they were in separation, she would come and go like that, and he didn't question it. But everybody else says that's a lie. He's the only one that's saying that. Again, they're going to be able to see patterns of her phone, of the Ring doorbell, of when she came, when she went, what the hospital said, what toxicology is going to say. My girl Trip says, guilty crime. I truly think the husband put her on meds to make her crazy and then get her put away to give himself an excuse. I mean, like I said, JP and Micah Miller, that is a very parallel case, in my opinion. I've thought the same thing, exactly what you said, my girl Tiff, about JP and Micah. All right, so I'll leave that up for a minute. I agree. But here's the problem. He has law enforcement in his pocket, And he has the private eye that's working. The only private eye that's on every effing station is his homie, is his friend, is his partner that he works with. All right. That's crazy. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I got so much more. Let's get this
Good
done.
morning, beautiful. I'm listening to some of her voice messages she just sent me out of the blue. Elena had loved her life.
So she was always there for you.
What was that?
She was always there for you, it sounds like.
Always there for me.
I want you guys to also take a mental note just for yourself. Brian Anton's demeanor and his sympathy, empathy, the way he answers, the way he responds, versus later on when he's talking to the private eye that you guys call bullshit, janky, is so different. You're going to see it's like he completely is not agreeing or disagreeing, but we know he's disagreeing. He's like very suspicious of him. Yeah, you'll see. You'll see much different. He doesn't have sled in his pocket. Oh, I'd hope he doesn't have sled in his pocket, but we know what happened in the Murdaugh case. So I never said sled. I said he worked for law enforcement for 14 years. And officers have this camaraderie where they don't talk about each other or go against each other. It's an ethic code, and many times that ethic code will get you killed if you step outside of it. So I didn't say sled was in his pocket. I'm just saying that he was there 14 years and they know him. All right, let's continue. But thank you. And again, Murdaugh. That's all I got to say about that. That sled, that's the same people that were investigating Murdaugh, all right? Or Murdoch, however you say
There's
it.
no way I can advocate for this person. And it's just the questions and then the lies, and then I don't know what to believe is true or not. But you know, like I say, I gotta take up for her, and I've gotta present the positive things and who she was, because that's facts.
All right, guys, I hadn't been checking my messages. Obviously, I'm deep into this. I do want you guys to win something. So please, please, please hit the like button, drop a comment, get yourself a membership, do yourself a favor. Foxy's giving away a Foxy box. It's a special Crime Con swag box. Guys, we got a bunch of swag at Crime Con. Actually, I should do a giveaway like that too, because I have a bunch of good swag that I'd love to share with you guys. But if you guys can help get to the goal, that'd be awesome. We're not even close yet. Not even close. We've got 2 memberships and two $2 super chat. So if you have the means to get a super sticker, buy a super chat, gift a membership, or get one, please do. But make sure you're in the green, because Foxy's giving away these boxes. They're custom. And I want you to realize that when Foxy gives a box away, it's custom to what you like. So it takes sometimes a month for her to order the stuff, get it, package it, and ship it. Also, shipping is very expensive. I don't know if Corinne is here, but Corinne, I shipped your Madeline Soto shirt out today, and it costed $16 for a shirt and a couple of stickers. That's the lowest price that I could go. It was like $16.38 for a Madeline Soto t-shirt with 2 stickers inside. My goodness. So that's why we ask. Okay. All of this stuff helps support the channel. That's how you know. All right. Yes, I believe that she's been with him. They were only married for a year, though. They were married for a year, but together for many. All right, let's finish this so I can get to the stuff that I have not seen yet.
These are facts of who she was as a person. And, you know, even on the hard days, she worked out. And why would she go to Planet Fitness to tan or do red light therapy or to work out to go and unalive herself?
Right.
Big question to me. It doesn't make sense. And why was drones put out, but yet you weren't on your feet looking for my friend right when she was reported missing, since it had already been a long time, but like the day before when she really was missing?
See?
So let me just go back for a second to when you last saw her, May 31st. Was there, I know what you said, she said to you about being upset at the end of you hanging out, but did you think she seemed confused at all or anything like
No.
in the doorbell video?
Nope. She was definitely in her right mind. And no, the other girls at the luncheon could tell you she's, like I said, she holds herself very well. The only thing at the beginning, before we all got really situated, she was looking around and kind of looking out the door a little bit. She went to the door and looked out, and I didn't ever see her phone. and like I saw her 2 fingernails broke, and I just was like, She kind of moved differently. So at the end, when I hugged her, I was like, "Are you good?" She's like, "We got to catch up." She's like, "It's bad," and I was like, "What?" She's like scared for my life type shit.
How are you doing right now?
Damn, dude.
I'm not good. I'm sick. Like, I'm sick. She loved her life. She wanted more. She just wasn't going to stop until she got more, you know? She wanted to keep going. She wanted to be bigger. She wasn't going to stop. Like, she did it, like, every day, you know? I don't know. Like I say, what's inside the house every day. Nobody knows behind closed doors. But what I seen, and she posted a lot. And when she stopped posting, that was worrisome to me because I felt like there he is in control again of her telephone and her posting.
Hey, Corinne.
I've done that before.
You're welcome.
Have you talked to her family at all?
No.
1 year.
Nobody but the girl, Meredith, that she was raised with, that she grew up with. She kind of moved out of her home when she was younger, like a young teen, into the home with her and her family for, you know, like to feel more safe. I don't think a lot of things was going good where she was, you know, staying with her siblings and the household she was in. I think she wanted to, you know, maybe more freedom or, you know, whatever it was that she did, you know, she moved in with them and lived with them till college years, early college years. And then I think that's when she came to South Carolina. She had previously dated a guy before Brandon,
and again, she dated Brandon for years. And the only thing we know about their wedding or their marriage, there's no date that's been provided. They say she was married last year in 2025. They had only been actually physically married for a year. But rumor has it they were dating for, 10, 12 years before that? All right, let's continue. I got so much to say about this, guys. And Brannon is a South Carolina, he was a South Carolina sheriff's deputy. All right. Initially, he was and still considered not a person of interest. All right. Police publicly stated he was cleared from the very beginning. All right. They're not giving his exact times on when he was a deputy, the dates, but they say for 14 years. They also reiterate that he is the husband. Brannon is the husband of Elena, a 39-year-old personal trainer who went missing. And again, they say it. They can't say it enough times that Brannon was a deputy, turned private eye, and had nothing to do with this. They ruled him out. All right. So was he cleared? They say yes. Statements from Lexington police inspector, and this is what I meant when I told you that Brannon's got them in his pocket. Lexington police inspector Missy Silcox told Newsweek that Mr. Slice is not a person of interest at the current moment. Now, remember, this was Lexington police, and they turned that over to SLED, right? Look at he reported Elena missing the next day, but he only reported her missing sometime. He doesn't even know when. All right. So we went over that. June 4th was the first documented mental health incident that we're finding. And that's where we see her acting weird at the door. They say she's declining mentally, but her friend says no. Let's continue. There's so much more to this.
Brandon's really all I know of her dating besides just hearing about the first boyfriend.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry for everything you're going through. It's just terrible.
It's like a nightmare, and you wake up and you're like seeing it again, and it's like,
come on, get your membership.
But it's not fair for her to not. I just can't believe it, and I'm not gonna not tell the truth of what come out of our conversations and what I witnessed and what I heard on phones and what she told me with her own mouth. I missed the call on June the 4th, and then I've never got in touch with her again.
She called you on the 4th?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
she didn't text me. She called, and I missed it. And she didn't leave a message. Like I say, sometimes she would voice memo me. And
guys, June 4th is the day that she went to the mental health facility at Three Rivers. So I wonder if she was calling her to try to help her get away and something happened, or maybe she had taken something. That is the exact day that they say she was in for, and they can only speculate 72 hours. All right. So that exactly, and I'm going to, right after this, we're going straight to listen, June 4th, guys, she reached out to her friend. That's the last time she talked to her friend that we see on here. June 5th at 2:17 p.m., there's a call to Lexington Police Department that's reporting her missing. This is a week before any of this happened.
I didn't think nothing about it, and I called, and like her phone would just ring and stuff. So I was just thinking we were phone tagging, and then I see she's missing. Like I nothing is said about any of that hospital stuff until he reports her missing.
I really, really appreciate Sandra for taking the time to talk with me. It's important to point out that Moore's husband is not a suspect.
Okay, we pointed that out. I've pointed out more times than I'd like to. With that being said, again, look at Elena Moore. This is what she embodied. She was very into her physical appearance and her health. She was a fitness trainer. That's her and her husband just on Easter. Easter was not that long ago in 2025. That's him. That's her on her good days, right here. Hold on. That's her on her good days. Looks nothing like her anywhere. All right. And then again, here we need justice. What happened? They cleared him. And then look at down there. Look at the bottom, guys. You see her at the very bottom? That's apartment number 410. Look close if you need to. Look behind me, or look to the right of me. She has a bun. She has no glasses. She's not holding anything, and it's apartment 410. Can you guys see that? I'm wondering if you can see it, because I'm going to put this up real quick. I don't know why they didn't say anything about this or that dispatch call. All right, so check this out. That's 410. I just showed you. Now we're going to go to 319 real quick so that I can show you the difference. There's 319. 410 was on the other one. Let's put this out real quick. Look at the number. 319.
You mind if I take a picture of it? Oh, yeah. You can take that away. I just want to take a picture of the door. Thank you.
Was she going door? I mean, what was this? Is this the same day or not? Are you guys seeing what I mean? Are we on the same page here? I'm very confused. If anyone knows, I'm trying to find the correlation in between and the dates, but it's not. The math isn't math, and this doesn't make sense. That's a completely separate floor. When you go to 410, you got to go all the way up and then around. It's a pretty big complex. But look at that. There's 319. That's the guy that's going to answer the door. And she says, "Oh, John Moore," right? Her last name is Moore. Maybe she was confused by it. I don't know. What's up, Flojo? Thank you, Pika.
Oh, shit. You want to see that?
I don't know, man. Twilight's out. Look.
John Moore?
Yep.
John Moore.
There it is. Thank you.
Sir. Just deliver that?
Yep.
Guys, nothing that anyone's saying is what happened. I am Two Bear. She was not a delivery driver, nor was she receiving it. She was just wandering around 2 separate times we now see, and she was sat there. That's why we made a joke. You weren't here when we covered this, but she sat there reading the receipt like if she was reading a book. So your question, the answer is no and no. All right? No, no, and no. And there's a different one in front of a different apartment. And she just walks away. All right, that's good. You guys see that. So when we get back to it, all right, let me do this real quick because I want to do this. All right, so this is her friend that got her name's Sandra Rochelle. Maybe I should reach out to her on Instagram and see if she wants to come and talk with me now that more's coming out, more stuff. Right? Again, Elena Moore read the receipt that said John Moore. Okay, real quick. I'm just gonna read it to you. I'm not gonna play the music. All right, a close friend of missing personal trainer Elena fears foul play as her body was discovered. All right, 39-year-old dressed in clothes matching the missing description was found Wednesday under a bridge in Lexington, South Carolina. Moore was last seen walking through a parking lot toward a wooded area. All right, there's her husband. The grim find came after cops revealed Moore's husband, Brannon, was not being treated as a person of interest. There's her friend, Sandra Rochelle, said she didn't believe any of the theories, or she didn't believe the theories that the trainer may have been having struggles. I do believe there's foul play. Law enforcement says the opposite. There's no foul play that they suspect. I think my friend was struggling for her life. I think she was literally afraid for her life. I know, she looked confused to me. Dedicated to her clients. She was still dedicated. She was still doing her thing, but she wasn't posting. Campbell's suspicious contrast with the police position before the body was found. And that's what I was telling you. Police say no foul play. She believes there's foul play. South Carolina SLED confirmed it's now helping the police department. So there's the difference. Police department is not SLED. All right. SLED was asked to investigate, but both agencies was found. The Lexington County coroner is now working positively to identify, now has SLED added. She has been identified. Thank you. I'm going to pin that. I will. Missing again. She was missing. He didn't report till Friday. Police Chief Terrence Green said the crews found the body shortly before 3 p.m. on Wednesday after receiving a tip about Old Cherokee Road. Lexington resident Joe said they found her under the bridge and thought, well, now how has she been sleeping there? She was sleeping somewhere and she was eating somewhere, is what this person says. All right. And then a cause of death hasn't been released. Autopsy's pending for this Saturday. Hopefully we find out soon. We're not going to know about the toxicology, though, guys. That's going to take a little while. She was last seen 9/17 on June 11th. All right. She was seen passing by Publix. Yes. Her phone was in her hand in front of what we saw the video, but it wasn't in her hand in another video. All right. Now check this out. We're going to go back to June 4th because it started before then. People said she wasn't online, all of that. But guess what, guys? Another detail that emerged leading up to the 11th was the date I told you, starting from June 4th, where Elena called her friend that we just saw, and she didn't answer her phone. That was the last time she ever saw or heard from her again. Now, that doesn't make sense. The day later, we're hearing dispatch audio from June 5th at 2:17 p.m. Guys, middle of the day, captures a call to Lexington Police Department reporting a missing person. The caller tells dispatch they're reporting a friend missing from their workplace and says they're waiting at an address for the officer to arrive. Now, during the call, dispatch references the name Elena Moore and instructs the responding officers to make contact via cell phone. All right, so here we go. This is where it all kicked off. The 4th, last talked to. 5th, we hear she's missing. We see her, of course, on the 11th again. But what happened in between that week?
1131 County 1090, missing person, Harmon Street.
71, go ahead.
Hold on, go back. They're talking about missing person.
1131 County 1090, missing person, Harmon Street.
71, go ahead.
It's going to be 123 Harmon Street, 123 Harmon Street. This is going to be where the caller is. They're wanting to meet with the officers. Caller states that her friend went missing from their work, the Gold's Gym on Augusta Road. Whiskey named Elena Moore. Also, if you could call dispatch, that'd be great, please.
Is that weird?
1131 County 1090.
Okay, is that weird to you guys or not? Had anyone heard of this? And thank you, Kathy. When we're playing a video, I'll try to do that. Again, I updated my card and yeah, but anyway, I got you. I owe those to you. Thank you, everybody. Thank Kathy for the memberships that will be coming. What's up, Montana Mystic? How you doing? Good to see you. Okay, so I don't know if you guys knew about this. You say if she was running from him, she may have ditched her phone. Curious to know if they found her. They did not find her phone. They have not. They didn't say they didn't, but they said they're not sure where it was. That's what they said when I read the article earlier. All right, so yeah, what the hell? This was a week before she actually went missing on June 11th. This happened on June 5th, and you can see it's her name, her address they're talking about here. Isn't that weird? We don't believe in coincidences, though, in true crime, right? All right, now let's skip forward. We saw all the stuff from June 11th coming in, and now this is her. This is where the body was believed to be. Elena Moore was found, had shared footage with, and I got a shout out to True Crime Believe on X, right? This is the scene where her body was believed to be found. And they talk about it in lots of other videos and interviews as well, where they saw maggots and bugs and things. Again, trigger warning. There's not much to see unless you really know, but they're saying her body was right there. This is the scene. And remember, they say the coroner says they didn't find anything to announce a death, whether it's foul play. They couldn't say that she jumped off a bridge or fell off a bridge. Guys, she didn't have any contusions, any bruises, anything visible to the eye, no gunshot wounds, no nothing. So I don't know, her falling off of a bridge, you would think the coroner would say, well, yeah, she's badly bruised, and they absolutely say nothing. It looked like she was sleeping. All right.
It's very sad, you guys. Her name is Elena Katherine Moore. She was 39 years old. She went missing just a couple of miles away when she was last seen over there. And it's just really sad.
What's this after?
She was disoriented because I think mental health stuff, and that's where the body was. Do you see? You can tell a body was.
All right, so I'm pausing it for a second because she's not the only one that was talking about the body being there and being able to see some decomp. Right, there was decomp around it. Mine's buffering. Guess it's YouTube. Yeah, mine seems to be okay. Are you guys all right? No tiny puncture marks. Yeah, nothing. I have no idea, Kathy. Let's continue. That's the scene of where the body was found, and you can see the impressions here where the body was found, and there was some, obviously the body releases fluids, bugs come. She's been missing for 6 days at the time they found her. All right. And there's gives you a good idea. Earlier, someone said maybe she fell off the bridge. This is why, because this is the area. Watch. There's a right up there.
She was disoriented because I think mental health
there's
stuff.
A bridge.
And that's where the body was. Do you see? You can tell a body was there.
Yeah, you can. You can see all the.
Yeah, it's very steep. So say you're just walking, like this is just, say you're like in the dark, right? And you see woods out there and you're not thinking it's a sharp drop. You see brush. You're just like, oh, I'm going to go over here. And then right there.
Now, if you're not watching this, you can see that they also allude to the fact that it's at least 10 to 12 feet of a drop. And maybe she did fall off the bridge or someone pushed her, but it's interesting that there's nothing visible, what they claim anyway, nothing visible. You would think if she fell down and broke her neck, she would, right? You break your neck, there's going to be some kind of bruising, some kind of damage, some kind of anything anywhere. No, it looked like she was sleeping.
Right there. It's very sad, you guys. Her name is Elena Katherine Moore. She was 39 years old. She went missing just a couple of miles away when she was last seen over there. And
now, mind you, that's not far across the street. There's a gas station right there. Did you see that? I wonder if that gas station has cameras on the area and then they can see what cars come this way, what cars go that way. It looks like a two-way road. But look at right here. Is it like a gas station type of thing? And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because when I pull the map, it tells me exactly what's across the street. But did they not get camera footage? Because it's right freaking there.
Scene over there. And
then there's a caution tape.
It's just really sad.
And how did they not find her at first, guys? Like, I have all these questions when I came into here. Why did it take 5 days for law enforcement to find Elena, considering they knew exactly where she walked into the forested area? It was less than a mile down the road. Law enforcement did not label her missing in danger, guys. Despite her medical background, they said they don't suspect foul play. But yet, what you're looking at is where Elena was found at the bottom of a ravine in a clearing. No hidden deep, not hidden, nothing deep in the brush. All right. She was just found right there where you see it. Now, the first search, guys, lasted only a couple of hours and was specifically designated as not a search and rescue. Again, why did the police department say this is not a search and rescue? They think she's fine. There's no foul play. Did law enforcement take her disappearance seriously, or did they blow it off based on her history and what her husband told them? Guys, it took 4 days to put a proper grid search together. Why the delay? It seems that proper police procedures weren't observed with a missing, endangered person. All right. This caused evidence to be lost due to the decay and animal life involvement. Like I said, there was bugs and things. This is likely why locals gave up their authority, guys, and SLED is now in the lead. Is the medical examiner going to rule her death an accident, or did she take her own life? Will the medical examiner find signs of foul play? What's the toxicology report going to say? All right. Now, in the reports, her marriage was on the rocks. Her friends say it. A lot of people say it, and they say she said that she was afraid of her husband. But there's no video that shows that she was followed in the woods by her husband. Law enforcement would not have indicated foul play, and her cell was not pinging, so he couldn't track her. Law enforcement couldn't track her either. SLED has an active death investigation open now, as they should, but nothing's off the table until the medical examiner's done and the toxicology is concluded. We still don't know what happened. All right, let me play this and I'll get to the next interview.
She was disoriented because I think mental health stuff, and that's where the body was. Do you see? You can tell a body was there. Yeah, it's very steep. So say you're just walking, like this is just, say you're like in the dark, right? And you see woods out there and you're not thinking it's a sharp drop. You see brush. You're just like, oh, I'm going to go over here. And then right there.
Guys, I think even if they rule out foul play and no matter what they say, we're not going to believe that. I hope you guys don't. I don't think anyone's going to believe that she walked across the street, fell off, and just died there, right? It sounds... it's just the math ain't mathin'. All right, let's continue. Let's talk to the neighbors. All right, we're talking about the apartment complex. All right, new information, and it's going to continue to make sure I didn't miss anything, guys. I looked up earlier and I had 17 messages. Okay, all right, I'll read it after. I had to read this. Okay, new information raising questions in the case of missing South Carolina personal trainer Elena Moore. According to the residents of Overlook Golden Hill Apartments, the Ring doorbell footage captured Moore behaving unusually about a week before she disappeared. That's the video we saw. They're still not saying why she was in two different spots or two different cameras. Neighbors say she was found sitting cross-legged directly in front of an apartment door while she was holding a package addressed to somebody else, guys. When asked what she was doing, Moore reportedly responded, "I honestly don't know what I'm doing." Guys, this is a separate incident from that DoorDash one where she says, "John Moore," and she hands it and walks away. Now, the apartment complex that she was at is located less than a mile from the Planet Fitness where she was last seen on June 11th. However, it's more than 6 miles from her own home, leaving investigators and followers of this case wondering why she was at that specific location days before her disappearance. Also, a body that matches her description has been found, and guys, it has been identified now. Let's listen to what these neighbors have to say.
When my lady come outside, she saw the lady still standing on the porch.
She was sitting in front of our neighbor's door, crisscross, and she had.
When my lady come outside.
All right, mind you, this is a couple from the apartment complex that is reporting on an incident where she's acting weird with someone's package. Again, this is time number 3. First time we see her at apartment 410, no glasses. Second time we see her with glasses and everything in hand at apartment 319. Now we're seeing these people saw her sitting down with her legs crossed and with someone else's package, right? I wonder how many other things that we don't know about. I don't know. I have no idea. All right, let's continue.
She saw the lady still standing on the porch.
She was sitting in front of our neighbor's door, crisscross, and she had the neighbor's package, but she's on the phone, and I can't tell if she's looking up something or if somebody's on speakerphone because I kind of hear something on the phone, but I don't hear any voices. And I'm like, I'm staring at her, and I'm like, that's our DoorDash lady. So I go take my dog potty. I come upstairs, and I'm like, do you know my neighbor? And she's like, no. And I was like, well, what are you doing? Sitting there. And she was like, she was kind of like, she's like, honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, well, can you please, leave his stuff alone? And she says, okay. And she gets up and walks down the hallway or walks down the stairs.
Okay. Here's something else that's very, very strange.
That's funny that it just dropped. Oh, it's because we're still looking at it. All right, we're going to continue with that. Give me a second. She doesn't have anything tied to the complex, my friends. All right, do me a favor. Hit that like button if you leave. If you come in. Did you? No, there's nothing. I just looked it up so you guys, so I can try to figure this out. And they say Elena Moore was she known to visit the apartment? Did she know someone? They say there's no reporting anywhere that says Elena Moore was familiar with, visited, or had any connection to that apartment complex that she was last seen on surveillance. She was last seen walking towards a wooded area towards Lowe's. We saw the video. A tipster reported seeing her walking near Lakeside Middle School. And that's how she ultimately ended up being found, was the tipster. No, it also says there's zero evidence that she worked for DoorDash. She was a personal trainer and a pharmacy technician at CVS. The bottom line is she was not known to visit that apartment complex. She was not a DoorDash driver, and lots of rumors have been circulating. All right, let's continue.
In this entire story, the location of the apartment complex where this video was recorded and the weird package thing happened at the neighbors. This is the Overlook Golden Hills Apartments, and it's only about 0.6 of a mile from the Planet Fitness. That's where Elena was last seen on June 11th, right? Elena's home is not so close. It's like 6 miles away from the gym. So that's about a 12-minute drive. So odd things are happening around the Planet Fitness. And remember, Elena is actually a personal trainer. Not necessarily at that Planet Fitness, but
this gives you a good idea of what the proximity of things, guys. She was all in this proximity, but she was walking. Okay, that Planet Fitness footage was caught her at the front desk, and then she walked across the street into the wooded area. I don't know if it was across this street, but it says that's the last location at Planet Fitness. And then we don't know which direction she walked behind Lowe's. I'm assuming the behind Lowe's section is over here somewhere. I don't see a bridge on this, but you guys see what I'm saying. There's the Publix they talked about. Maybe they're talking about this one here. All right. Anyway, we're going to continue. Let's continue. I've got another gentleman that knows Elena Moore, and he says this case doesn't add up, and rightfully so. Okay. We need justice for Elena Moore. Guys, I'm going to put a video on of somebody else that knows her. Lots of questions. What's up, Lil Red? And then I'll try to gift some memberships. Hopefully I don't have to update my card. A personal trainer wouldn't take drugs or none of that. Sounds like a physic attack. All right. Good to see everybody that's rolling in. Hello. Happy Friday to everybody. We don't know. We don't know yet. We have no idea. Well, we're gonna figure this stuff out, guys. It's gonna come. All right, let's look at this. We already say the math isn't mathing, but then this guy, and it's in the description, Black Scout Survival. He has 731,000 subscribers. He seems credible to me. I've watched this several times. He knows Elena Moore, and he says this case doesn't add up. If anybody's seen this video, put a 1 in chat. If you haven't, put a 2. I don't think you have, because I just ran across this and I felt lucky to run across it. 1 if you've seen this, 2 if you haven't. All right?
Missing. There's a lot of oddities to this case, and there's also some misreporting, and I wanted to kind of clear some things up because this is, Nancy Grace is covering it.
Bombshell tonight, a glamorous personal trainer, Elena Moore, missing from Planet Fitness.
In Lexington, South Carolina, they need your help right now. Person you see right there, that's 39-year-old personal trainer Elena Katherine Moore. She has not been seen since leaving a Planet Fitness on Thursday.
Every major news outlet, and I know the area. I also know Elena Moore. Not good friends with her, just know her because
okay, cool.
In the same local fitness scenes. She was a trainer at a gym I worked out at. Anyway, this was her last known location, confirmed location on June 11th around 6 p.m. Now, she had parked here, but then allegedly left her vehicle and went walking in what they call a wooded area. Now, this wood area, they lose me quite a bit because they keep saying like it's some kind of 500-acre forest, and it's not. And I'll show you the map overlays here. Technically, it's true. It's a wooded area. But when people hear wooded area, they're imagining remote wilderness, and that's what a lot of things are. I'm seeing reported on various media outlets like ABC, CBS, and People Magazine, etc. Have roads here. There's apartments. There's businesses. There's also walking corridors over here, as well as subdivisions. This isn't some isolated forest. This is a developed area with people all around. And obviously, even just being here a few minutes at this Planet Fitness, it is absolutely packed. So this is all
right. And I love when people go boots on the ground and you're able to see it. Better them than me. I'm not going to be doing boots on the ground. Not often anyway. All right. So his channel's in the description, everybody. If the mods want to drop a link, it's always in the description, my friends, because I know people want to follow what I'm following. I thought I seen somewhere where Crazy Jane said that's the very basic few things that we know. He did pick up the car. It wasn't at a crime scene. It was at Planet Fitness. But yes, he's the one that ultimately picked up the car. I have no idea. I have no idea. Let's listen to this guy and see if it helps us fill in the blanks a little.
The quote unquote wooded area back here. And right behind me over this way is an FBI building. Not saying the FBI has anything to do with it, but it's also strange. They probably have surveillance cameras there. There's also 30 surveillance cameras between here and her last scene appearance, which is the Publix parking lot.
And that's a lot of cameras. So if somebody got a camera of a car driving towards her approaching a car or anything, there's a lot of cameras there. All right. Yeah, he picked up the car and they ruled him out, but I hear you, Low Red. I think so too. All right, let's get through this because we still gotta get to the rebuttal.
Which was 3 hours later, which I find extremely odd. So if we look at the timeline, we look at Planet Fitness, 6:14 p.m., June 11th, Thursday night. She's talking to the front desk. She leaves there. There's been nothing said about her seeming crazy or odd or anything like that. She goes for a walk. And immediately people may say, well, Why would she go walking? Well, unless you're into the fitness world and you're serious about it, we've all, us people that are in physical fitness, we may take random walks. We may do pull-ups from trees. It's not that strange.
All right, give me a second. I'm going to go run and grab my credit card so I can update it. I need a number on the back of the card in order to gift memberships. All right? You guys going to do okay without me for a minute? Yes, everyone has dash cams, which I love. Linda, Angel, Wolf, I'm so glad you... Welcome to the Crime Crew. Thank you. I'm so glad that you just subbed to my channel. All right, I'll be right back. Let me grab my credit card.
Thing is the news media, like always, they're painting this as she walked into some 500-acre forest and just wandered off, which is not true. There's apartment buildings, there's the FBI building, and I'm not saying the FBI is involved, but the FBI buildings there, it's gated, man, heavy duty surveillance everywhere. If they would have seen something, they would have caught it there. Okay, they would have caught it there. There's also roads, there's subdivisions, houses. She could have just went for a walk. She didn't want to walk on the treadmill post lift, and she wanted to get out and get some fresh air. Maybe she wanted to clear her head. I don't know. But the thing is that they're painting it like she walked off into the woods and just vanished, which is not true. If you look at this area, right here by Planet Fitness, there's a Petco, Kohl's, TJ Maxx, Ross, and then you get down here to Publix, where she shows up 3 hours later. Now, I do find that very strange. It's not going to take you 3 hours. It might take you 15 minutes to walk here, maybe 10 minutes to walk from here to there. So she was obviously somewhere doing something, not in her vehicle. She had left her vehicle there for 3 hours. Maybe she walked to a subdivision, a house. Maybe she met with some friends. We don't know. They haven't released that information. But if she hadn't contacted anybody and she was just gone for 3 hours, that makes me lean into maybe she was trying to think something out or something to that effect. Some people online are saying she lost her mind, etc. But friends close to her says that she is not mentally unstable, no history of that. And my personal experiences with her, she seemed to be a very nice person. When you look at the direction she was headed, she also worked as a personal trainer, but she also worked at CVS Pharmacy as a pharmacist. I've gotten medication from her before. Super nice. Anyway, it's in that direction. Why she wouldn't drive this way or why she wouldn't drive to Publix and walk. This is not a nice place to walk. I mean, it's nice, but it's not like nature. This is just stores, retail stores. Why you would be taking a stroll through here and not just drive your car there? Not real sure. Unless you're just trying to save on gas because gas has been outrageous. I don't know. But 3 hours to walk that way, odd. If she did walk that direction, maybe she just went walking. Maybe she went walking to a neighborhood, but she was not going through the forest because there's a lot of small dense patches there that you can't even walk through, and then some that are landscape, like just green zone, splitting residential from commercial. That's it. And obviously the FBI, which is heavily gated. You're not getting through there. But if she's walking this direction, doesn't make sense why she wouldn't just take her vehicle. I'm not sure of that. I would like to know why. Obviously they could leapfrog these cameras from here to there to find out who she talked to, what she was doing, if she was talking on her phone. They've tried to ping her phone, can't ping it. I would like to know the last ping, the last call, all this sort of information. I'm sure they have it.
All right. Thank you guys for being patient with me. I gifted a Guilty of Crime membership. I'll gift another one in a bit. All right. It's a shame that the ones married to cops usually don't get justice. You're absolutely right. 3 hours between Planet Fitness and Publix, way too odd. That is the key. He was there. All right, let's continue. Thank you guys. I hope whoever got the membership needed one. I'll gift another one in a few minutes. Hit that like button and drop a comment. A lot of people say, I don't know how to get a gifted membership. You got to interact with the channel in order for it to gift you. And don't forget, guys, after this, we're going to, we're giving out a Foxy Box, special Crime Con Foxy Box. And it's Pride Month. So we're going to be giving stuff away, having also members only type of either call in or episode for members only, obviously.
They're just not releasing it, but that's what I would like to know. I would like to know her last publicly seen location. Was it Planet Fitness or was it somewhere else? Did someone else see her? I would like to know those things. Did she get a ride from someone? Did she get picked up from somebody? Again, she could have been walking towards CVS. Who knows? Maybe she had a car issue. Maybe they hadn't reported that. There's a lot of reasons aside from being crazy that logically, you could do that. Again, you being in the fitness.
But what's interesting is that her husband posted on his face. I wish we got a copy of that. Posted on his Facebook that she's not doing well. He was putting out the information about her mental health. And you know what? We'll find out when toxicology comes and hopefully all the other things, right? We got eye candy right there. There you go. We found some more eye candy for you. Yeah, they're going to do all that, Kathy. They're absolutely going to they're not filing for phone records. They're going to get a warrant, a search warrant for everything that they need. Once they know if it's a homicide or what foul play, they gotta determine that before they start doing that. They're not looking at him as a person of interest, not him, but the husband. So first things first, right? Yes, you just got gifted a membership. Or did you get one? I took a break from YouTube and just joined for a thank you. I appreciate that, Teresa. Mama Sage, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat, super sticker. Oh, welcome, Teresa. I just noticed that. I walked away for a second. And then Hope 8 Fear just gifted another membership. Please thank them. Firestorm, thank you. Considering the name of your channel is Firestorm and you say the channel is fire, well, thank you. And hey, eye candy if you guys want it. All right. You walked out of Three Rivers yourself years ago. I want to know about that. All right, let's continue. Thank you guys all.
World, you may want to go for a walk, get a breath of fresh air, post lift, do some post lift cardio. It's not that strange. But if you live in California and you're reading this or hearing Nancy Grace talk about it, you're going to think this girl just walked in the woods and disappeared. It's not true. She was picked up at 9:17 at the Publix. So during that timeline, I would like to know what happened and kind of leapfrog her trail from here to there. Now, obviously, the husband, people are destroying him online. Law enforcement says he has nothing to do with it. Obviously, you're always the prime suspect. If you're the lover, husband, wife, you're always suspect number one. And if they cleared you publicly, it's probably because either one of two things. One, they want to let you slip up, become comfortable, or two, you're truly clear. You've committed they have no reason to believe you did anything. But I don't know if they're separated, they're together. He's the one who reported her the following morning. He's the one who had her car towed. I'm not sure why he had the car towed and why he wouldn't drive it.
Yeah, you know what? That's interesting that he had the car towed. See, I told you guys, we're going to get all of this stuff out. Thank you, Michelle. And also, guys, Flojo TV, man, thank you. I appreciate that. You never have to do that, but we do enjoy you over here at Guilty of Crime. And are you going to be on tonight or this weekend? Let us know. Yeah, that's true. Montana Mystic, most of these crimes do not happen by strangers. Statistically, it's somebody you know, have come in contact with, somebody that covets your area, or somebody that sleeps right next to you in the bed. All right. I don't know. This guy is saying that, or people are saying this is their eye candy. So be it.
Did they not have extra set of keys? Could be odd, could be not. Anyway, the whole story's odd. That's why we're asking so many questions. Now, there was released this DoorDash footage from
why would he in the world preserve potential prints when they already said that there was no foul play about anything? I think he told law enforcement that that he didn't have her keys, so he needed to get it towed. But that sounds suspicious. Yeah, thank you, Low Red. Could she have jumped? Authorities said car was with the husband. This was before they found her. Yeah, because he went and picked up the car. He picked up the car. They found the car and they didn't find her until the 6th day. I'm dying laughing. Who's the hunk? You guys are so funny that you even call him a hunk. That word, you know your age when that guy's a hunk. Oh my goodness, you guys are great. All right, let's continue.
5 days prior. Super strange. Surface level. I don't know what it means. But basically, she follows the driver up that's delivering food. She then takes a picture like she's the owner of the apartment or the tenant. And then she knocks on the door and pretends to be the DoorDash driver. She says the name of the individual and she says, "Oh shit, I'm going to play the video. Don't worry."
Thank you.
We'll watch it again.
Oh, yeah. You can take that one. I want to take it from the door. Oh. Thank you. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Here you go, sir.
Just deliver it?
Yeah.
Guys, this is so odd. Yeah, she says, "Oh shit," like she wasn't expecting him to. Now listen, this is awesome because I do want to collab with Dr. Vanna. I made you guys laugh though. I can make you guys laugh and come out of the bushes when I pull out my receipt. I got the receipts. The same receipt she does. Okay, so look, Dr. Vanna is awesome. I do want to collaborate with her soon. If you guys can drop her link. I'm looking at a document that was shared with me by, actually, this is Cuffy, but Dr. Vanna probably either going to talk about this or she wrote this. I don't know. Behavior and psychological indicators of what happened are the changes in routine and communication, emotional and psychological state as reported by associates. Even her husband seemed to have framed it that way. But statements that were made prior to her disappearance, are those things all indicate that she did that to herself, right? Notable absence from social media and deviations from established patterns that she normally does. I wish I had more time to get into this, but I don't. All right, let's continue.
And then she goes to walk into the apartment. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, she lost her mind, but there's a lot of reasons I could think that she may be trying to do this. Number one, she's trying to get away from somebody. Someone's following her. Number two, she was doing something, meeting someone, turns out to be the wrong place. She never met them before. And there could be a lot of reasons for that. I'm not gonna say what those are. You can fill in the blanks. I'm not accusing her of that. I'm just saying it's a potential possibility. Things happen in the world. We're all adults. The other oddity is also that there's another picture from another ring. They did not release this video, but she's at the door. It looks like she has a mark on her face. I'll put it up here. And she's not wearing the sunglasses, but she's wearing the same clothes. She's in the same apartment complex. Now, I don't know the date or time of this.
Okay, now he's calling that out too. And why hasn't that been called out? So he says the same thing. He showed us the video with the glasses, and nobody's even said that until he did. I had caught it earlier. Someone else was like, wait a minute. I don't know if it was Jesse Weber or what. Anyway,
she was looking for someone in this apartment complex. She could have been doing her own investigation of something, trying to find out someone who lives there. Maybe she speculates something. I don't know. Again, I wasn't best friends with her. She's someone I've known for years back in the day, going to nightclubs in my younger years. She was in the club scene as well. She's worked at multiple restaurants that I would eat at. And then obviously being a trainer in the gym. And she was very serious about working out. She hasn't posted on her, she has a fitness Instagram, right, where she talks about her training and promoting it. One oddity there is that she was a very frequent poster, almost influencer level. A month ago, she stopped posting.
I didn't even notice the no ring. I told you she would go back and forth. She would go back and forth with wearing a ring on her correct hand. And then when they were arguing, she would take off her ring and it would be seen on the wrong or opposite hand. What's up, Mab? Jay's whole receipt is craft supplies. Oh, yeah, you know it. You already know that. 110%. Literally nail art, crystal clean, different kinds of things that make slime. Oh my goodness, so many things. Yeah, that's funny. I didn't even think about that. He's not married. He should have married her. They were married. Or are you guys just joking about something? All right, let's continue.
A lot of people are questioning that. I question that as well. Someone who's monetizing, being a personal trainer or monetizing social media in a sense that you're selling your business on social media, you stop. Very odd as well. I'm not sure. There could be a slew of reasons for that. But again, I'm from the local area. And if you're in California and you're reading this, you're going to think, what the hell happened? So I'm trying to put some visuals to it. And I'm sure most of you guys have heard about this by now because it's like the most major news.
And this is why I like these boots on the ground. I'm in California. I can't even picture what that looks like. There's certain areas you go in California and it's like a recreational kind of area. But when you're driving on freeways or highways around here, you're not looking at this. Not in my area anyway. So this is why I like this guy.
Story in the world, from what I'm seeing, other than the war in Iran, the Iran-U.S. deal. But it hits different for me because one, I know who she is. Two, I'm from this area, and none of it makes sense to me. To be honest with you, none of it makes sense to me. And I'm not here to solve the case. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm not pushing any conspiracy theory, although I have my own theories. I'm simply showing you the geography, the timeline, and why a lot of it doesn't make sense. Obviously, what I believe is law enforcement has some serious leads. they're not letting on because they don't want to spook someone. It's never good vanishing for 5 days without being seen. I am very well trained in vanishing, and I have written books on it. You guys may even own them. I train people in it, going gray man, getting off the grid, etc. And in modern day surveillance state, it is difficult to vanish. It is. Like, I have the techniques, but unless you're trained to do it, it's difficult for an untrained individual.
Yep.
Unless they A, had help, or B, something very bad has happened where you're not on the grid anymore. And I hate to.
All right, now we don't need to listen to this anymore. We appreciate this, man. We know people don't walk out and just disappear. Okay. I hope you're feeling better today, Mab. And I did get your email, Nikki. Anybody that needs case coverage, I will get it and I will get back to you. I appreciate it. I did get it. You happened to send it like on a Friday, about baby Preston murder in the UK. So I'm probably not going to do anything with it this weekend because it's Friday and I don't work on weekends typically. And it's a case that is not in, it's not an urgent case. It's something that needs attention, but we're not going to, nothing will happen without. But there's a baby Preston murder in the UK, guys. And somebody sent it to me and they want to know more about it. Nobody's covering it. The baby was unalived in the UK by allegedly 2 vile pigs that care for him. Ooh, that's going to be a lot. We're going to get into that. I'm going to send that over to you, my girl Tiff. Maybe you can get us started on that and post it up on Ghost and all that. Tiff also posted on Ghost today. Somebody had requested us cover a case, and it was Yolanda Maloney out of Reno, went missing, last seen April 14th, 2026. Go sign up for Ghost, guys. Do yourself a favor. It's free. All right. And thank you, Tiff. I don't know if you're here right now, but thanks for all your help. Okay, let's do this now. The coroner's office, blah, 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 blah. Law enforcement. Okay. I'm going to put this on while I'm doing my thing behind the scenes. Okay. So whether you saw this or not, this is going to make much.
You've been able to find out at all?
This is going to make much more sense now that I gave you everything behind it. I hope it does. Anyway, this came out minutes after I got off of work and I listened to it and I was like, this is so perfect for today's episode, because once we start listening to this and understanding that this guy is biased, in my opinion, this private eye is biased AF. And you'll see why, because he worked with and works with the husband. His narrative is the complete opposite of every other person's narrative. And I want you to pay attention to how Brian Enton responds to him. All right. Oh, yeah, you're late, but it's okay. It's Friday. And guys, make sure you have a membership. TA or T Angel. You're not in the green, so I'm just giving you guys a fair warning that we're going to give away a Foxy Box Crime Con special after this. Yes, he was being extremely biased, and now we know why. But because I gave you all the other context prior, this is going to hit a lot different than it did without seeing that. I don't think you guys knew about the neighbors talking. I don't think you knew about some of the things that the friends said. I don't think you knew about the guy we just talked about. That, putting that into perspective and then listening to this private eye, which, by the way, is going from channel to channel narrating this story and being in my opinion, he's advocating for his partner, Brannon, but he doesn't say his name right, which is weird. All right.
All sort of what's going to happen next. I heard some rumblings that the autopsy will happen this weekend.
Okay, I kind of break it down for you.
Thank you.
Of course, law enforcement's continuing their investigation, putting everything together, just like, we would expect and appreciate that they do. The coroner's office is also doing their investigation, where the autopsy, I have been told, is supposed to take place on Saturday.
Tomorrow.
Now, as far as any information being released from the coroner's office, that will be, from them. I mean, it could be up to 2 to 3 weeks, a month, maybe even longer for everything as far as the autopsy is finalized. Okay. But that doesn't mean that the coroner won't release, some information. And I'm speaking a lot of that off of experience and then some of it off of facts that.
Now, I knew the coroner and the toxicology was going to happen, but when you listen to this biased private eye, it's crazy to understand that he's friends with this Brannon character. All right. Yeah, and I sped up because he talks way too slow. I hope you guys learned something interesting today, or a few interesting things. After we get through this, guys, then we're giving away a Foxy box.
I have been, told. I think the one thing we have to remember with the coroner's office is there is no positive ID, that has been done yet. Okay. All that has been released at this point is that they have found an individual that has clothing on that matches the clothing that Miss Moore was last seen wearing. So, they have to get a positive ID completed, and then they have to do the autopsy. And from there, there'll be toxicology reports that'll be done, things like that.
Again, this was filmed prior to them identifying the body. So if you just came in here and you missed it at the very beginning, Elena Moore's body has now been identified as the missing South Carolina personal trainer, the 39-year-old personal trainer. That is her. So when you hear people talking about the fact that she hasn't been identified, oh yeah, she has. Carrie, I was talking about Lauren DeMullo earlier and the way this case is going down with the mental health. I'm like, I wonder if that happened at all.
Which of course takes a considerable amount of time. And, that's another reason that it's not bad that the state law enforcement is involved in it. They have their own crime lab. They have their own, I think some of this is, unless somebody agency decides to send it somewhere else, SLED does the analyzation right there in-house. So this stuff would go to them, and then, and of course they're not going to want to finalize an investigation until it's completed. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. And from other, all the cases I've covered, I know that like toxicology can sometimes take weeks and you won't get an official cause of death for quite some time sometimes. I guess what I'm a little confused by is, though, in terms of just identifying her, I would have expected that would have happened a little more quickly, not cause of death, but it seems like it would be more simple to just say whether or not it's her.
Well, and that,
it is.
I guess that's a good way to state it. Like
it is her. We now know that. So what this guy's saying, this guy's got a lot of word salad. I think there's some things that touch the family working. Oh yeah. See, he works for the family. I'll say,
like you mentioned that, we don't always know the condition of the body, but I mean, she wasn't gone that long. I mean, I would imagine, like when you say bones, sometimes that's, people are missing for like months or years. Have they been given any information about the condition of the body?
Yeah, but they do have preliminary toxicology reports, low red. Every once in a while, well, especially in an adult, you'll see them come out with the cause of death, and then they'll do a preliminary test of the toxicology that doesn't take as long. You'll get like oh yeah, they found a high level of this, but they're still testing. So hopefully we don't have to wait too long. You say this accident at work was definitely changed our lives. I don't know what happened there, but okay. Eileen, good to see you. You said from Houston, from Cali, California love. And we're on a Friday, right? I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. Listen to how Brian talks to him and interacts. It's like every time he says something, he's like, he's very skeptical. And now I know why.
Okay. Maybe, me saying bones I was just using that as an example.
Yeah, of course. I understand. Yeah. But
I mean, I'm going to have to say to you that based off of my experience, we were in day 6 of somebody being missing. We had temperatures that were high. We were in summer. Decomposure starts immediately. Okay. And that's what you have to understand. I'm not saying they're how bad it was or anything else. I'm just saying based off of experience, I can tell you it wasn't just a point of walking down there and probably looking at a face and going, yeah, that's her. That's Miss.
Yeah, and that's a problem. The thing that they did identify her with was the clothes she was wearing. However, they knew it was her. In my opinion, I believe they knew it was her. it didn't take much longer after we found out for them to identify her. Almost 2 years. Guilty crew, what do you think happened? You guys can talk in chat. We've been doing that for hours. Let them know.
More. The other part is there's a certain amount of procedures that I think the coroner's office follows.
Maybe
they might already know the answer, but they can't always assume that that's the correct answer until forensic pathology, autopsy is done to confirm what they believe. That's the key word you have to look at right there, is confirm what they believe. They believe that it's possibly Miss Moore because it is the individual, the body that was found is.
Yeah, he doesn't even say Brandon's name, right? He calls him Brandon. So decomposure. Yeah, I don't know what he's saying. I do know that he works with Brannon. All right. He's the one that tells us that he was an officer. This man gets very defensive. I'm telling you, he is, in my opinion, this private eye is like the PR for Brannon. That's what I'm telling you. A dishonorable discharge. That's what I thought too. I was looking up why Brannon Slice from South Carolina ended his 14-year job. And it says that he ended his 14-year career as a Southern Carolina deputy / officer. None of the coverage talks about it or him being tied to the Elena Moore case. There's mentions any resignation, termination, or prior departure. It doesn't. It only confirms now that he's Elena's husband. I don't know what we're looking at, but I don't see any of that. Maybe you could tell me where that came from. As of right now, Jesse, I'll say he doesn't work there anymore. I don't know. I can't find anything.
Wearing clothes that are similar to the ones that Miss Moore had on. The other factor is the body was found in a proximity area of where Miss Moore was seen at. Okay, on security footage, video. So when you take all of that and put it in, I mean, I have to support the coroner's office for not coming out, because I can tell you again, based off of my experience, there's times that we found driver's license in deceased individuals' pockets, and it wasn't that individual.
But we're not talking about that, sir. We're talking about Elena particularly. You're looking into her case and going on every news station to talk about it. So let's talk about her.
So that's the reason I'm saying that I think that's what we have to, we have to stay conscious and focus on, is the fact that there is a purpose and there is a reason that everything is being done the way it is.
Red herring.
Accurate facts out to the public.
Makes sense. Someone sent me a video, and I don't know how they got it, but of the area where Elena was.
He's so funny. Brian Anton is not buying this guy's bullshit at all, in my opinion.
Was found. It looked like it was kind of off of a bridge. Do you know that area? Can you describe it at all? Like, what do you know about sort of the area where, or I say Elena, like you said, we're still obviously waiting for it to be confirmed, but
And also, it is confirmed. Let me just pop this up because there's some people that came in here just now or very super late. The body in 23 minutes ago, they posted this, and I showed you earlier, guys. The body in Lexington County, or Lexington, South Carolina, is confirmed to be Elena Katherine Moore. May she rest in peace. All right. Elena's friend said she was scared for her life, but that's the reality of severe mental illness. Thinking people are after you, the paranoia, does not mean anyone was truly after her. She was probably more of a danger to herself than anyone was to her, which is honestly sad. Too bad she was not able to get help. Now, I don't know who this Rose person is. This is just me looking up on X and wanting to show you that she has been identified, and it is Elena Moore that was found. All right. You got 6. All right, let's continue. Word Sally says, stay on the subject, sir. All right, so that way you can see. I mean, it's hard to tell. You can't. This is fake book, right? We don't know if he's like, hey, smile, bitch, smile. You need to look happy. We have no idea what was really going on. And there's the scene of the crime where the body was found. There's the caller that call a week before. What do you guys make of that? All right, let's continue. Let's go back to Brian Enton, totally not believing his bullshit at all. He's like, yeah, Sure, buddy.
You know what I mean? What can you tell us about that area?
Okay, what I'll tell you is the same thing that I stated last night. If I remember correctly, because I'm knowledgeable of this area, I think that's 14 Mile Creek that we're talking about. And if you look, I know you've probably seen it, that picture where Lexington PD and law enforcement has the intersection closed. There is a guardrail and then a cement curb, and there is a bridge.
Because
that goes across, again, what I believe, if I remember, is 14 Mile Creek. That's where, you know, if you look at the white line between there and the curve, there's a small area that you could walk, you know, down the road. It is, and I think we probably have looked at the same video, is the one where there's a pavement marker and a nail, looks like it's drove in the ground.
Yeah, and there's like some bugs that I saw that I noticed. Did you see like bugs moving around on the ground? That's the one I saw.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say that. You did.
Yeah, I know, and I don't mean that in like to be in a grotesque, but
no, I
wait, I'm not sure what so Carrie, I'd love to converse with you. I know the husband was a private eye. What did I miss? Alvin, make sure you contact Carrie. I don't know what I missed. Okay, I think she was trying to throw private investigator off by leaving her car, running up to the apartments, and he caught up with her. I think she was running and he pushed her. Interesting. I didn't see that. I would have pinned it up there. A lot of people have a lot of theories about the husband, yet law enforcement has ruled him out on the 17th of this month. Now, I don't know why. Maybe he has an alibi, a solid, tight alibi. We don't know. Look at the Micah Miller case. How in the hell did JP and Micah get into that situation where we hear her on the 911 call? She allegedly takes her life. And then recently, JP gets arrested for being part of that. How is that even possible? I don't know.
Noticed it in the video. There were like bugs in the soil.
Right.
And so I guess it is the same video. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But the nail, and then when you look over, you can see the other markers on the ground you're absolutely right. If I'll say it in a small Paul Harvey version, you're absolutely right. That's the area that you're talking about, right off of that, the little overpass, bridge, whatever you want to call it.
Is that, so that's not like deep in the woods or anything. So she was discovered kind of right off the roadway. Would that be right?
Yeah, I would take and agree with that. Now that again,
yeah, hashtag take your meds right after this. We're giving away a Foxy box. All right. Maggie said so. And Jesse says fired from police position over misconduct prior to running his private investigation business from ABC News. That's perfect, Jesse. That's why I love this chat. You guys are amazing. We stay as close as we can as what happened, you know, there's no UFOs that came. And so thank you. ABC News says, and that would be a great guess. So I'm glad that we know misconduct. All right. Which gives you even a bigger idea and a more of a possibility that he did something. Micah case is so similar. Yeah, of course it is, because we don't even know anything yet. As of the day I first ran the episode, to me, they paralleled, but we don't know. We know nothing yet. We don't know what was in her system. We don't know about harassment. We haven't got any of that yet.
Always remember, I try to stay with facts. The facts that I'm stating this off of is the facts, the same thing that we saw off of that video, and also, you know, other things that I've observed. But that would be accurate in my belief based off of the facts that I have seen. Did I go out there? Have I looked over? No, I haven't. But I think that it's right over the side of the little overpass / bridge.
Do you have any idea, just from knowing the area, like how high up that? Because it's hard to tell in the video. Is it high up that if she fell, or I mean, do you know?
Without going out there and dropping a tape measure, I understand that it's, I think, between 8 and 12 feet.
Okay. Okay.
He does seem defensive AF. Again, this only came out minutes before I came on. So I had already planned my episode before this came out. And it's just like, whoa, why is he? I mean, it seems like he's campaigning for his friend / coworker. He works with him. I don't know if they both own the private eye company that they work for, but he works with them. Why is he doing this? I feel like I feel like that is just contradicting. I don't know. I don't get it. And I don't know how they cleared him either.
And how far is that from the Publix?
Conflict of interest. That's what I'm trying to say.
I would say quarter mile at the most,
Okay.
10-minute walk.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you want me to, I can give you a little better understanding. When she saw at that Publix walking, if you went from right there and walked down, you're talking about 10 to 15 minutes at the most. And that's even if you were stopped to tie your shoe.
Okay. So it's all pretty close together.
Correct.
Yeah, it's such a sad, I just wanted to say again, I mean, I know my heart goes out to her family, and I know we're talking about it like, you're a former investigator, I'm a reporter. We're talking about it like kind of trying to figure it out, but at the same time, it is so sad, are you working for her husband? I mean, is that who retained you?
I am working for family and friends.
You see that though? Right there. And that's why we can't take what he says very seriously. He didn't even want to answer that question. Working with family and friends. Dude, just be real here. You work with Brennan, right? That's your buddy. You've known him for years. You got his back. And he's has you out there as a PR tool. Let's be real. Now, Jenny, in one frame, she had literally her phone, and it looked like her ID. A lot of people have those phones that have the wallet on them and you put your stuff. She was carrying that with her shades. And in the next frame, when we saw her, she had nothing. So I don't know. That's what I don't have an answer for that. I don't know what she did with her stuff.
Okay, family and friends.
And then also, I mean, I'll go ahead and say it. I know Elena. I know her husband. I've known him for years. Me and her husband worked together in law enforcement. Okay. He's been a career in law enforcement. Then he became a private investigator. I'm a private investigator. Of course, as soon as I knew about this, the phone call was made.
Yeah.
You're a sex worker. I like sex. I called. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but he's trying. I mean, like he's so defensive. It comes across really hard. It just comes across. That came across so hard that it would be like me saying that. Oh yeah, that girl's a sex worker. I like sex, so I called her, right? He sounds so like defensive and trying to convince us. Like, come on. Hey, we all like a good strip club, man, but let's be real here, buddy.
Okay. At the end of the day, the statement has been made by family and friends, because this is what I did my career, was investigate and also
maybe
find people that didn't want to be found. So, family and the friends have made the statement that if there was anybody they wanted to be out there doing this, that was me. Okay.
Yeah. And you've been very helpful to us too. So, helping us understand kind of what's going on with your law enforcement experience. So thank you for that.
Let me say one more thing.
Sure.
Is the key thing also, that was my job, was not to investigate. That was law enforcement's job. My job was to assist in any fashion I could to try to locate Miss Moore. The other part of my responsibility now, in a sense, is kind of debunking some of this false narrative that's being.
How about debunking the junk? That's a favorite thing for us to say. He's trying to debunk the junk, but he's doing a terrible job at it. Yeah, Brian's trying to hold it together. This is the freaking title of this episode, is that the husband's sad or devastated. And we haven't even got to the part yet where this guy says, even though everyone else says that Elena was afraid of him, this guy says they were going to spend their life together. That's a soulmate. Blah, da, 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 da. All right, let's continue.
Wrote out there because of people that don't know the facts. So, that's just kind of, where it's at this point right now. You have a family that's grieving.
How come he didn't find her?
Understood. Yeah. And all this, they've said that there's no, or at least at one point, there was no foul play suspected, that her husband is not a person of interest, police have said. So what is her husband like? I mean, you mentioned that you guys work together. How would you describe him?
He's a great individual. I mean, I can't say anything bad about him.
Why not?
Every time that we worked on something together, and even after me retiring, him starting his private investigation business and me being a private investigator, we've not only worked together, but we have also helped each other. Okay. So, I mean, and that's the reason I say it the way it is. And, I'm sure that
we haven't only just worked together, but we've helped each other. Wink, wink, And no, don't go dirty minds there. I'm just saying, this is one of the most biased interviews I've ever seen. At least in the last year that I can remember. What? Say what? She was missing for 5 days. Actually, on the 6th day, they found her less than 10 minutes away. You failed. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Well, you're such a great private eye, and your co-partner private eye was an officer for 14 years, and you couldn't find your freaking, he couldn't find his wife, right? This is crazy. A conflict of interest is what I was trying to say earlier. Thank you. He's got no junk in the trunk. All right, let's go. Got to make you guys laugh a little.
There's somebody going to come back and say, oh, it's a conflict for me to be involved in it. No, it's not.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Because I know the family. I know the individuals. That is a great help to be able to assist in any information or assistance that law enforcement happen to need.
How is he doing?
I mean, he's not doing good at all. I mean,
he's not doing good. He's devastated. They were going to spend their life together until death do us part, which means you got to die first, bitch. All right. Anyway, Teresa, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. My ex would be abusive, so I went on random walks. And maybe, rightfully so, maybe she just needed to cool down, but how did she die? It's always good to see you, Teresa. Man, guy, he's definitely covering shit up for sure. Yeah, we don't know anything about any of that right now. I do too. It's just that law enforcement has cleared him. Not cleared him like Nanos cleared the Guthries, Annie and Tommaso, but cleared. Like they're saying they're not looking at him at all. That's odd.
Grieving. Him and Miss Moore have been together, and it, you know, the reason I call her Miss Moore is not because that's just my professional side. Okay. You know, they have been together for a number of years. Okay. They built a life together. They got married. You know,
okay.
He's grieving. She was 39 years old. Am I correct on that when I said, was it 39?
39, yes,
39. He planned on spending the rest of his life with this woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
And her life's over.
And, you know, I joke with him all the time that I don't know what she saw in him. It was a joke. But again,
these guys must be putting their fingers up each other's asses, because right now this is wild that he's so biased, so defensive, and the way he answers it is just like, yeah, bro, you guys are just tickling each other's buttholes over here. That's it. That's all. Nobody believes you, dude.
And Brandon is grieving. Okay. The loss of his wife at this point.
Look at Brian Eden's face.
In his life. I'm 65 years old. I mean, granted, you know, we could all leave this world at any time when the good Lord decides, but what we have to look at is normally we don't have to bury our children bury us. That's always where it's worse. He's got to figure out what he's going to do tomorrow, but he has to do that one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. He's got to figure out how he's going to pick himself up and pick his life up and continue.
Of course he is. Just like JP did. JP picked up his life and went on to go get a new girlfriend. I mean, do you hear what this guy is saying? They should pull this whole interview down. It's embarrassing. His name is Brannon, or Brennan, not Brandon. He keeps calling him Brandon. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? You don't know his wife's age. You had to confirm that with Brian Enton. But Brannon, Brannon, there's not a D in there, dude.
You know, we obviously, a lot of people have talked to the friend Sandra, who's been out saying that, you know, that there were issues in their relationship, that it sounds like, according to her, they were going to separate. And that essentially she's saying that, that Elena was scared of her husband. What do you make of that? Is that something you've heard about?
Well, let's go back to the video of the Uber Eats delivery, if that's what it was. That video was disturbing. Okay.
So he's going to blame it on her mental health. We saw that the husband already blamed it on her mental health. He put it up and then deleted it. Who hired this private eye? Well, the husband of the lady that went missing, the love of his life. That's his soulmate. Till death do us part. Or until you die, bitch. That's what I see it.
I don't think there's any hidden fact that there was something going on based off of if you want to analyze just that video. Okay. If this individual, Sandra, was such a close friend of Elena's, how come law enforcement hadn't interviewed her? They've interviewed other close friends.
Yep.
They've interviewed family. I mean, at the end of the day, I think you have to take the own words that she said during your and her interview. She said, "I'm sick." So I think about right there, we have to leave it at that. She doesn't know the facts. She admitted that in your interview. Again, if she was such a close friend, law enforcement would have already talked to her. She has no factual information to provide.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, I think she needs to do like everybody else is doing, is stay in her lane.
Stay in her lane.
And you know how relationships are, and I know you knew them, like you said, but I mean, it's.
He got red-faced and defensive. He says, "Stay in your lane, bitch." He might as well have said that, but yes, stick to the script. I'm your PI guy. Shut your mouth, and we'll take care of the rest. And by the way, get a lawyer. Nikki's like, sex worker, game over. I just called you. See, you're a sex worker. I like sex. I'm calling you. I'm just teasing, by the way, everybody, but that's how he sounded. Wife went missing. I'm a private eye. I work with them, so we're doing this. This guy, man. All right, let's continue. Let's get through this. My goodness.
Possible, right, that there were issues that you didn't know about. You know, people can be very private with those kinds of things.
Absolutely. I mean, come on. I mean, you people don't know if there's problems between me and my spouse. You know, Brandon and Miss Moore.
There's no Elena, Brandon. There's no D in
very
it, guy.
Private people to a certain extent. I'm not saying that there might not have been something going on. Okay. And don't take that out of context, please.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that's private. If it had rose to the level of somebody's life being in danger, I think that it would have been being dealt with.
Yep.
I mean, that's the factual side of it. Okay. Do I know the nuts and bolts about their whole relationship? Absolutely, I do not. But what I can tell you, Brandon and Elena were two outstanding, nice people that were building their life together.
Bullshit. Again, he's staying on script, but I love Brian Enton's face. And I love the fact that his best friend is Brandon, but that's not really his name. And he doesn't know how old the wife is. But he does know it's till death do them part. All right. So shut your effing mouth, Brian Enton, and listen to him.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, it's they're young, you know, it's like,
right.
It's really sad. What about, you know, was she, you know, the friend says that she was in, I think it was like a mental facility at one point recently. What do you know about that?
Nothing that I can speak on. I think that some of that, let law enforcement, let Lexington City, let the state law enforcement division do their investigation and, you know, reveal all of those facts as it comes to be facts. Okay. I don't see that where that is, that is not something I would have permission to talk about.
Understood. Are you in contact with Brandon a lot? I mean, are you guys?
It's not Brandon.
Off and on, there's a very close family friend. Well, more than one very close family friend who is basically a go in between me and him in a sense. Just so.
Where is
I'm trying to get it where we don't hear that ring anymore.
Oh, no problem. I know you got a lot of calls coming in.
But there's kind of a go between just so because he's dealing.
So Tiff, I saw somebody earlier show James R. Snell Jr. the law offices, and you just sent me a screenshot, but I can't find it on the website. If there's any way you could possibly send me the link, I can't click on that. I emailed you a pic. So I got the picture of the family. I got the picture of her sister. Brittany Slice is the front desk manager at his law office. Did you guys know that this guy's a lawyer, that her husband's a lawyer? And as a matter of fact, not only he's a lawyer, but he represents the company. And there's a video that I saw him in, but I can't find the video, Tiff, because you sent me screenshots and not a link. Is there any way you can send me a link? Brandon works with his sister. That is how he technically has a job. But is he I'm confused. You're a little confused, Tiff, because I know he works there, but where's that Brannon Slice video? And is he a lawyer? Let's play this while we figure that out.
With things, of course, he's not. So there is kind of, but there's constant communication between me to him, from him to them to me.
You mentioned rumors and things you wanted to clear up. How is Brandon handling that? I mean, it's just, there's a lot of stuff going around right now. If you look online, a lot of people are kind of suspicious of him. And even though police have said nothing about that, and that he's not a person of interest, and we're all waiting to see what the cause of death is. Like you said, the investigation is ongoing, but how is he dealing with that?
How would you deal with it if people are online saying
this fucking guy,
you
man,
killed your wife? That's devastating. I can't say it any other way. It's unnecessary.
He is so defensive, right? And so not only was he in criminal law, right? He's not a lawyer. I know he's a private eye and he works for a law office, but I was reading the law.com. I get it. We talked about this already, guys. He works at a law firm. He's a private eye and with his sister. I'm trying to find the video in order to play it for you, but I can only see the screenshot. So a screenshot I can't do anything with. But when you see him in the law office and him surrounded by lawyers, he's got himself covered. Yes, he's a PI for the lawyer group. I just said it wrong, killing time in New York, because I was reading, text messaging, and looking at a website. All right, thank you so much, Hope 8 Fear, for the $5 Foxy. Yeah, I get that. I'm trying to figure out where the video is. Let me show you something real quick, since I can't find that yet. I just want to show you the family picture that Tiff sent me, and then I'll get to that after. But there's a picture of his family. That is Elena. That is her husband. They look so different in these pictures. And I'm assuming the sister is probably this one right here. One of them's a sister. Again, no label, no nothing, but that is them. And he looks so much older here. It's weird, but anyway, we're getting that documented. If anyone wants to send me a link, I'd love to play that video. I saw playing it earlier. I just can't find it. They have way too many things going on. If we look at their, look at this. Here's another thing, guys. Not only did I say he has law enforcement in his pocket because he worked with them for 14 years, not SLED. I got you now, Tiff. I haven't got it, but if you sent it, I'm going to check it. He's not only got law enforcement in his pocket, my friends, but he's got James R. Snell law firm, criminal defense lawyers also in his pocket. And his sister is one of them. His sister is a lawyer. All right. So where is she? Her name is, oh no, she's not a lawyer. Brittany Slice, front desk manager of the law firm. He's a private eye of the law firm, and he has access to all of these, criminal defense, domestic violence, DUI, personal injury. He's got everybody in his pocket, guys. I feel if we don't get some good evidence real quick, we're not going to find out what happened. We lost a lot of time with them not treating this case in that way. Wow. Okay, so you found it or you didn't? Let me check. Scroll down, you'll see it. Snell law. Okay, all the way down. Hold on. All the way down. Yeah, that's a long website. I don't see it. Free offers, meet our firm. Maybe meet our firm. I really wanted to play that video, but it's not. I don't know where it is. So anyway, the sister's the front office. He doesn't have a picture, but he has a video, and I want to find it. All right. I don't know where it is right now. Let's go back to that. I don't like digging around while I'm doing this. All right. 1 second. I'll find it when we're done with this. I can't find it.
And of course, it causes nothing but more heartache and pain for somebody to have to live through.
With SLED, if you can explain it, because you know the way it works there because you're former law enforcement. Is it normal for SLED to be called in, or is that because he was a deputy with the sheriff's office?
I think that the best way for me to do is explain it.
Sure.
He was a deputy
with
Lexington County Sheriff's Office.
Okay, I found it, guys.
He's a private investigator, which means he has interaction with aspects of law enforcement. Okay.
Not just aspects of law enforcement, but also criminal defense lawyers and a bunch of them.
Okay. So when you look at that alone, there has to be a question that has to be answered. Because he was previous law enforcement, who should be the proper agency to investigate this?
SLED.
I think there's a couple key points that would make it understandable of why SLED is the right agency to handle it. I'm not saying nothing against Lexington PD. I'm not saying anything against Lexington Sheriff's Office. They're capable of conducting this investigation and carrying it to the end.
So what are you saying?
State Law Enforcement Division is a supporting agency. Okay. Any agency in the state of South Carolina can call them in to assist in any investigation, be it an involved officer shooting to anything. Okay. So that's one reason you sit back and you say, okay, SLED's probably investigating. It used to be an officer. Let's try.
That is not particularly why, but maybe you're telling us that's why now.
SLED. Then you turn around and you look at it. I don't know this for sure, but I was pointed out, I think it was last night or night before last, that bridge and that little area right there is not in the jurisdiction of Lexington City. It's in the jurisdiction of Lexington County. I don't know that for sure, but that was told to me. And I said, well, I'm not sure, but you're right, because I know there's certain places where the town has one side of the road, but the other side is still in the county for whatever reason.
What are we talking about?
That's another reason,
sir?
if that is true, that Lexington City would pass it off to.
Why is he even talking about that? SLED's in charge of it right now, guys.
Things go. Maybe we'll learn more beginning of next week. You think maybe we'll get some more information?
I'm not going to be, it wouldn't surprise me just from past experience for the coroner to come out, after Saturday and make an announcement of an ID.
Yeah.
I don't know what information she would provide with that, but it wouldn't surprise me for that to happen because, think about it. Everybody's concerned. Is it her or is it somebody else?
All right. We now know it's her. She's identified. This PI is bias AF. SLED's taken over, and we still don't know much more of what's happened. We now found out a little bit more about her and her husband. We see a picture of her husband and her with the family. We know the husband worked with law enforcement for 14 years, dishonorably discharged. And then now we just find out that his sister works as so James Snell, snelllaw.com. That's his sister. Remember, his name is Brannon Slice. That's Brittany Slice. And she is the front desk manager at this firm that has a ton of criminal defense attorneys, domestic violence, etc., etc. All right. And then he's even on their website. I always like to see how somebody talks, how they interact, how they move, their demeanor. There he is. It was right on the page the whole time. That's him in this video. Brannon Slice. You see that? There's no D. Brannon. And this was July 1st, 2024. Let's see if I can get it to play. Maybe they took it down. It doesn't want to play, does it? I saw somebody playing it earlier. I wonder what happened. All right. Well, I'm not going to waste our time doing this. If it doesn't pop up, then you guys understand. This video right here, private investigator, Snell Law. All right. So you guys see, what I see. He does look very cop-ish. All right. It won't play. I don't know again if they took it down for some reason. Oh, there it is. Here we go. This is her husband. This is him, Brannon Slice, private investigator at Snell Law.
Hey, my name is Brannon Slice, and I'm a private investigator. And prior to being a private investigator, I worked for the Lexington County Sheriff's Department.
Dang it. Look at what I did. I'm sorry, guys. Let's try it again.
Hey, my name is Brannon Slice, and I'm a private investigator. And prior to being a private investigator, I worked for the Lexington County Sheriff's Department for 14 years. And my job here with the Snell Law Firm is I'm the private investigator for the office. And I meet with clients whenever they come in for whatever problem. If there's witnesses that need to be spoke to or any kind of thing to help prepare your case for trial is what I do. One thing I'll say is from day one, whenever you come to the Snell Law Firm, they're going to give you a peace of mind that your case is handled professionally and properly. It's a very stressful time whenever you come in to an attorney's office for whatever reason it is. Something happened that didn't go right, and you don't want to have to stress over wondering what's going on. You're always going to be kept in the loop through his office. Mr. Snell's created a staff that's like no other. They cater to your needs, and they customize a case plan for everybody that walks through the office. You're never going to have to worry about whether or not things are being handled properly in your case to get the best outcome available.
My ass. All right, guys. We're giving away a Foxy box next. We've been here 2.5 hours on a Friday. Happy Friday, by the way, Foxy. All right. And if I missed anyone, I don't think I did. I got Pika. Thank you. Hope Ain't Fear. Teresa. Carrie, member for 23 months. Michelle. Gifted a membership. Flojo, $1.99. Mama Sage, $1.99. Hope Ain't Fear. Guilty of Crime membership. Kathy for the for you guys, she put out a $10 super chat to get you memberships. Panda Ann, Hope Ain't Fear, India Isham, Foxy, Sadie's mama. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Now we're gonna do this next. Highly educated. I love it. Highly educated, sir. Sounds like he didn't have it. Okay, now here. A lot of people would love a Foxy box. Auntie Ree's in the house. Listen, I'm gonna pull this man down. We want justice for Elena Moore. All right, we're going to continue covering this until there's nothing to cover. Hopefully, the coroner releases something either this weekend or early next week, so we can at least find out if they're classifying this as a homicide or not. They say no foul play, so I'm like, wait, what? Why did they close off the crime? Why didn't they close it off? I don't know. I don't know if that was even the crime scene. That may have been a secondary scene where the body was dumped. We have no idea. All right, up past bedtime. You're welcome. All right, we're going to give a Foxy box away. I got to tell you guys, let me say this. And Foxy, you're welcome to say it in chat, and I'll pin it up in there. Foxy does these Foxy boxes out of the kindness of her heart. All right. She does it to support the channel, for you guys, etc. I'm not going yet. We're giving away a Foxy box. She does it, but she also does it out of her own kindness and money. And when she gives these boxes away, they're very personal. So it takes a while for her to personalize items for you. It takes a while for the items to ship to her individually in order for her to customize these boxes for you. So guys, if you don't get them and it's been 4 or 5 weeks, we didn't forget about you. You either you didn't claim it within the 24 hours, 48 hours, or Foxy's working on it. We never forget you guys. We never just don't ship something else. I just want you to know, I don't think we've ever said that before, because I don't think I've ever got as many questions in my inbox about where's my Foxy box, like ever. Never and ever. So now it's all Foxy. I don't run that part. It's guilty of prizes at gmail.com. Foxy independently gives those out, the kindness of her heart, and it takes time. All right. Vivian, thank you so much for the 99-cent super chat. Michael, good to see you. Hi, Jay. Crime family. Have an excellent weekend. Smoking my meds and going to bed. See you next week. All right. So that's what I want to let you guys know. Whoever wins this, please be patient. Patience is a virtue, and Foxy is independently her. She'll give you her email address. All right. Thank you. Oh, you did. Cash App. So oh, girl, it goes right back in. Now let's give something away. Loading those comments up. 231 still in chat, and go again. If you just won one, we're gonna go past it. There, it's right here. You email Foxy. I don't know what she's doing with her boxes. Ooh, that sounded bad, didn't it? I don't know if I don't actually think Deborah Brush is a crime crew member. She was in black earlier, So if you guys can quickly tell me, is Deborah Brush a crime crew member? Let's not say yet. It's a member appreciation, so you got to be a member. That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking maybe she died in a different location and her body was found there. But no congratulations yet, guys. I need to know if Deborah's in the United States and she has to have a membership. All right. She's not green. Okay, I didn't think so. All right, next. So, guys, we're gonna do this again. I'm gonna clear this out completely. I need you guys to go over there, hit the like button, and throw something in chat. It gives you a better chance to win. I promise you it does. That's why some of the same people always win, because they're the ones that are continually commenting, liking, hyping, and all that. All right. All right. Again, let's go. You got to be in the US and you got to be a member, which means you got to be in the green, guys. All right. And Foxy Box time, right? Oh my goodness, Auntie Ree, I think last time you either got a membership or you were gifted a membership. I don't remember though. So is Auntie Ree a member? I know you're in the United States, but I just don't know if you're a member. If anyone, that's the hardest part about when we do these, because I don't like someone might walk away or something. And I've known Auntie Ree. Well, I don't know her, but she's been around for quite some time. I just hadn't seen her around in a while, and I do not know if she is a member. I don't know. You got to interact more, Melissa. There's people that have never won. There's people that have never won anything on my channel, but you have to interact. All right, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I supposed to do with this? Foxy, anybody? We know who Auntie Ree is. I just don't know if she's a member. I don't know where to go with this, guys. If you can help me out. All right. I'm looking for Auntie Ree to see if she's a member. You guys are you have my text. Somebody can text me. Otherwise, I'm going to drop down. Come on. Anybody? All right, I'm going to roll again. She's not here, and I don't see that she's in the green. So, Auntie Ree, we love you, but if you're not here to claim it and we don't know what your status is and we don't know anything, then we have to redo it. All right. Going again. That's part of it. You got to be here because you got to claim it. All right, another time. Let's go. Come on. She's not in the green. Okay. Thank you. Please pick someone in the green because I really want to go eat. I am hungry. All right. Who is that? Renee Whipple. You're here, but your membership. Yeah, you don't. I'm sorry, Auntie Ree. Your membership lapsed. So if you redo it, then you can win on the next one. You will want to win one. Okay. Renee Whipple, you're here. You're in green. You won. But I need to know if you're in the United States. She's here, but she wasn't in the green, guys. I can't give away something to people that are not a crime crew member because that's what supports our channel and keeps us going. It's expensive. StreamYard is $53 a month just for me to stream this. Ghost is $63 a month. Everything is cost money, guys. All right. So, Renee, you won. All right. If you're in the United States, she is green. I see her right here. Renee Whipple is in the green, guys. She absolutely is a crime crew member. And Foxy, where's your can you drop that again? You're going to go directly to Foxy. You've got to claim this within the next 24 to 48 hours or we're going to re-give it away next week. Okay, Renee? So I guilty of prizes. I guess I'll just type it. Guilty of prizes at Gmail. Take me forever to type this. I should have just waited for you. Okay, so Renee, Foxy gives out Foxy boxes. She does custom boxes. Please email guiltyofprizes@gmail.com. I suggest you do that immediately because if you don't do that by Monday, we're going to re-give it out. All right. It's got swag from Crime Con, and well, frankly, Foxy just got swag all around. All right. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Happy Friday. Also, we need justice for Elena Moore. Her body has been identified as the missing South Carolina personal trainer. All right, guys. Much love. I'll see you guys back here on Monday. Congratulations to Renee. And for everybody else that's new here, thank you so very much. Like, subscribe, share, and if you can hype it, hype it. Oh, yeah, you know that now, Low Red, right? Not even just that, Low Red. Not talking about the percentage. I'm talking about what it takes to run the internet. What it takes to run, like, it's like $200 a month to get fast internet. Then you got to pay for StreamYard. You got to pay for Ghost. You got to pay for the website. All that crap. So, Lil Red, yeah, don't forget all that. All right, guys, love you. I'm out. See you guys later. Have a good weekend. Congratulations. All right, good night, guys.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?